Sports presents a look at the 1976 Rose Bowl game. Brought to you by St. Regis, a world leader in paper, packaging, and construction products. Rose Bowl 1976. For these folks, it started last night with a New Year's Eve party right outside the Rose Bowl itself.
And for many of you at home and thousands of people here in Pasadena, the festivities began with the Tournament of Roses parade.
And now, all roads lead to the Rose Bowl, where in a few minutes, Ohio State and UCLA will play football before over 100,000 screaming fans. Good afternoon. I'm Ross Porter.
And I'm Barbara Hunter. We'll be your hosts for the pregame show, which will include highlights of the tailgaters and their New Year's Eve party in the parking lots around the Rose Bowl.
We'll also talk with the Grand Marshal of this year's Tournament of Roses parade, Kate Smith, and we'll speak with the Queen and her court just before they make their grand entrance into the Rose Bowl.
And we'll talk to a cheerleader from Ohio State and one from UCLA. The big question for them, what's Woody Hayes like on the sidelines? Ross and I will be back with New Year's Eve Rose Bowl style right after this message.
We're putting $147,520 worth of pearls into this St. Regis 50-pound reinforced shipping sack. And now we're going to drop them 20 stories into the Atlantic Ocean. Why didn't the bag break? It's made of 6 scientifically sealed layers of material, 4 paper and 2 plastic. You seldom buy products that need this much packaging protection. But as the world's leading maker of multi-wall bags, St. Regis protects a lot of products you do buy, like pet food, lawn food, and flour. And we at St. Regis put the full weight of our technology behind all our packaging, paper, and construction products. Because St. Regis believes the future belongs to those who stay up to the minute.
More than 5,000 fans are spending New Year's Eve in the parking lot surrounding the Rose Bowl, as every year more than 500 up to 750 recreational vehicles come, starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day to get in early for the big game. I'm in the trailer of the Wilsons and the McElhaney's from Michigan, and you have some signs on the back that say, "Go Blue," but I don't think that's for UCLA, is it?
No, that's for U of M.
U of M, so you're not here to root for Ohio State.
No.
Michigan fans are a long way from home. I see you're playing dominoes to get the evening started, and you got a few refreshments here on the table. How are you going to manage to spend the rest of the evening?
Starting practicing next year for rooting U of M on to be here at the Rose Bowl.
It's a little bit cold out here tonight. How are you going to stay warm for the rest of the evening?
Oh, there's a lot of young girls around. I'm sure we'll make out.
Well, Ross, on that I think we'll go to you in another recreational vehicle.
Thanks, Barbara. I'm here with Bob and Joy Wickwire from Tucson, Arizona, and their friends Tom and Jenny Herron, who are from right down the road here at Fullerton, California. Let me ask the Wickwires, how many years have you been coming now to this Rose Bowl?
This will be our 12th year, and we've enjoyed every one of them. We've come here 3 years from Tucson and the rest from California. We missed 1 year, the year that John Wayne was Grand Marshal. We're sorry about that. He's our hero. But we made it 12 years, and we enjoyed all of them, right?
Right.
Very novel way to spend New Year's Eve.
Right.
Who are you for tomorrow?
We're for UCLA.
What's this thing doing up here? I thought maybe you had the wrong team.
Well, he's for SC and from SC, but we're for Southern California schools, right?
Right.
Let me ask the Herons, how many years for you out here now?
Well, this is my second year with the Wickwires.
Well, quite a way to spend the New Year's Eve. It looks like you're having fun. I'll let you go back to your dinner.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll give you a toast.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Cheers.
Okay. Barbara's over now with some Ohio State fans, and let's go to her. I'll join her in just a minute.
Oh, Ross, you are so right. I am indeed in the midst of an Ohio State party, and as a matter of fact, if you'll hurry along, you might make it in time for dinner.
How long have you been cooking these steaks?
These steaks have been cooking about 20 minutes now.
They've also had a few toasts to propose.
About 2 hours worth of toast, so I'm not sure if they're not done, I'm done.
How many times have you been out here on New Year's Eve like this?
About 10.
Are you from California?
Yes.
Well, what do you wear in the Ohio State?
Blood relatives. Got to root for the Bucks.
You've got some friends here, though, from Ohio State, I understand, huh?
From Ohio. Played in 1950.
You played for Woody, didn't you?
Yes, my last year was Woody's first year. Right. We played in the Rose Bowl, but I was under Wes Fessler.
Oh, yeah.
1950.
Yeah.
Right.
Any doubt about the outcome now?
No doubt at all. That's why we came out here. That's right. Tell like it
I have a feeling it's going to be a very long night out here. It's also
Barbecuing
supposed
some
to be
Bruin
around
meat
30
right here.
degrees. How are you going to manage to keep warm?
I can't tell you that.
I heard you had some antifreeze inside the van.
Is that what it is, Joe?
Who are you for?
Ohio State.
How about you?
Ohio State.
Anybody here from UCLA? Okay, Barbara and I'll be back in just a few moments with Kate Smith, who, of course, is the Grand Marshal of this year's Tournament Roses Parade. We'll have some highlights of the parade and also a talk with cheerleaders from both sides right after this.
Make way for the world's longest 2x4, a mammoth 400-footer made by St. Regis. It's 32 feet longer than the world's tallest tree, a 368-foot redwood. How did St. Regis make a 2x4 that's longer than any tree? Simple. We glued 60 off-size pieces together with hot-glued finger joints. So pieces that used to be only good for fuel to make steam for the plant now can go to make useful 2x4s. Because our tests show the joint is stronger than the surrounding wood. St. Regis is one of the largest makers of 2x4s. But chances are your house has some of our lumber or insulation paper in it as well. And we at St. Regis put the full weight of our technology behind all our packaging, paper, and construction products. Because St. Regis believes the future belongs to those who stay up to the minute.
The 87th Tournament of Roses Parade was ushered in this morning under plenty of sunshine and blue skies. One of the first to greet the million-plus spectators on the parade route was Grand Marshal Kate Smith. She's the first woman Grand Marshal since 1939, when 10-year-old Shirley Temple carried the honors. Miss Smith, by the way, is the first singer ever to be Grand Marshal. There was plenty of music provided by the 22 bands, and the official Rose Bowl band from Pasadena City College led the way. The Queen and her court were also warmly received. Queen Anne Martin and her 6 princesses presided over a parade which included 61 floats, many of them bicentennial in nature. There were 240 equestrians, so with the floats, the bands, and horsemen, more than 4,000 people took part for the New Year's Day enjoyment of millions. And we're happy to have Grand Marshal Kate Smith with us on a beautiful day in Pasadena. And how was the parade this morning?
Oh, I want to say hello, everybody, and it is a beautiful day. They had predicted rain, but it went away last night, and the sun is bright and just glorious out here at the Rose Bowl now. As for the parade this morning, it was magnificent. I had never even been in a parade before, and to think that I was the Grand Marshal of the famous Tournament of Roses parade, you just can't get anything bigger than that.
I know you're quite a sports fan. For one thing, I think you drive your own speedboats back at Lake Placid, New York, don't you?
Yes, I've been driving speedboats for about 35 years now. And I am very much interested in football and basketball and ice hockey. In other words, I'm a sports nut.
Do you have a prediction for us for the game here today?
I'll take Ohio State.
You will?
Yeah.
I think Woody Hayes summed it up best yesterday at the luncheon here when he said, Miss Smith,
Really?
we're very happy you're here as Grand Marshal because you are something positive for America. And I think that said it very well.
Thank you, Ross. It's been a joy just to speak with you. And I thought it was so sweet of Woody to speak so nicely of me yesterday at the luncheon. And the thing that I loved was his, when he was introduced, that they said the one thing that he goes by and has lived by as a head coach is, he said, to get the best out of your team, kick them in the butts when they're playing, but be sure to be in the shower to scrub their backs like Pa should.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Ross,
All right.
and Happy New Year to all you folks. God bless you, and thank you so much.
Barbara's with some royalty across the way. Barb?
Yes, this year's Rose Queen, Ross, is Anne Martin. She's from La Cañada, and she's a 4th-generation Californian. And I know you've been working toward the preparations for today for a long time. Did it go just about as you expected?
It went really well. This was one of the best parades they've had. They only had one breakdown, so that's really quite a feat.
Were you ahead or behind the breakdown?
We were ahead of it, luckily.
Did anything unusual happen today? Anything strange?
Nothing too strange. I sat on glue on the float, so I have glue on the back of my dress, but It'll come up.
I heard Kate Smith tell Ross Porter that she thinks Ohio State's going to win today. Do you have a prediction for us?
I think it's going to be a good game. I'd kind of like to see UCLA win since it is our West Coast team. But I think it's going to be a tough game.
That sounds like a Californian at heart, fourth generation style. Ross and I will be back with a Pasadena Rose Bowl veteran and a Rose Bowl rookie right after this.
The bridge I'm standing on is made entirely of paper, St. Regis paper. And now we're going to drive this Rolls-Royce Corniche over it. This paper bridge is strong enough to hold up this 2.5-ton car because every other layer is shaped like this, corrugated. Just like in the corrugated boxes you get from the supermarket. And this simple structure is incredibly strong. You seldom use products that need this much packaging protection. But as a leading maker of corrugated boxes, St. Regis protects thousands of products you use every day. And we at St. Regis put the full weight of our technology behind all our packaging, paper, and construction products. Because St. Regis believes the future belongs to those who stay up to the minute.
This will be UCLA's first appearance here in the Rose Bowl in 10 years. Ohio State, on the other hand, has made 4 consecutive appearances. And, of course, Connie Headley is one of the cheerleaders at Ohio State. She's been one for 3 years. This is your 3rd trip. Are you as excited today as you were in, say, 1974?
Probably more excited.
You sound like you have a little sore throat.
Oh, we've had several pep rallies, and I've lost my voice.
Now, tell me something. Does Woody Hayes ever come down and talk to you on the sidelines during a game?
Oh, he comes down and leads the crowd in a couple cheers, and he's a staunch supporter of the band, and he likes to lead the band in several cheers, too.
But he doesn't talk to you during the game much?
Oh, no, he's pretty busy.
Okay, I understand that you got a birthday coming up on Sunday, so we wish you the best and a Happy New Year to you, too.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay, Barbara, I think we've got somebody from UCLA with you.
Yes, Pat Minzer's a senior cheerleader from UCLA, so obviously this is his first official visit to the Rose Bowl. Have you enjoyed the preparations so far, Pat?
It's been a long wait, and it's great.
Did you ever think UCLA would make it to the Rose Bowl at the beginning of this season?
Yes. After the Air Force game, I don't know. But they made it, and we're here.
Have you made any special preparations as far as the cheerleaders, the song people, and so on are concerned for the Rose Bowl?
Well, the parade was something special, but the game is another game, and we're going to win it.
And what about you? Does Dick Vermeil ever say anything on the sideline?
He's a little too intense during the games to come over and talk to us. All right.
Thanks. That's it for today's pregame show, and Ross and I will be patrolling the sidelines during today's game.
And that game is coming up with Kurt Gowdy and Al DeRogatis right here on NBC following station identification. This is a look at the 1976 Rose Bowl game. It's been brought to you by St. Regis, a world leader in paper, packaging, and construction products.
The Rockford
1976 Rose Bowl game is brought to you by your Chrysler Plymouth dealers, who invite you to see Plymouth Volare, the new small car with the accent on comfort. By Goodyear, Goodyear tires and Goodyear service for more good years in your car. By Texaco, who invite you to visit your independent Texaco retailer for quality gasoline and other fine automotive products. And by Transamerica Corporation. And we have the usual 106,000 here. It may be a bit chilly for Californians. Temperatures in the mid-50s, but it's an ideal day for football at that temperature anywhere in America. Kurt Gowdy, Al DeRogatis, Happy New Year, everybody. Today, Ohio State going for the national championship that has barely eluded them the last 3 years. If they beat the UCLA Bruins, they've got it. For UCLA, big underdogs, a chance for a tremendous upset in Rose Bowl history. The two teams met earlier, Al, 41-20 this year, back on October 4th. Ohio State the winner. What is a rematch? Right now, before we talk about the psychological rematch, let's go down to the motorcade just entering the Rose Bowl Stadium. And of course, coming in now, the Grand Marshal of the Rose Bowl this year, the Rose Bowl Parade, is Kate Smith. There she is. She's quite a sports fan, big fan of the Philadelphia Flyers, and used to own part of a professional football team. And there's the Queen of the Rose Bowl, Queen Anne, and the Court of Honor. And in the background, the Ohio State alma mater. Right now, what about a psychological rematch? Whose favor is it?
Well, I've got to give that psychological advantage, despite what some folks are saying. I give it to Ohio State. When you've won, you know you can win, Kurt. And the difference, I think, is interesting. One team, Ohio State, comes right at you. They use that eye, and they're always right hitting you where you live. The other team, finesse, going down that line of scrimmage. It's going to be interesting to see this contrast develop. I know one thing today, we won't have our cameras much off. Number 15, Shiver of UCLA, or number 7, Green of Ohio State. They're the quarterbacks. They are very tricky. They're great ball handlers. They're either going to give, they're going to fake, they're going to keep, or they're going to pitch out. And you won't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen as they're instantaneously reading the defense as it unfolds before them. You're right. It's an interesting read also because Archie Griffin is going to be reading that defense from that deep position in the eye, looking at where those defensive linemen are playing, as will John Shirer going down the line of scrimmage. Well, we're going to have some outstanding players today. We're going to meet the seniors who are starting. And first of all, we're going to meet the seniors from the UCLA Bruins by their head coach, Dick Vermeil.
We run the Veer offense at UCLA, an offense that is ranked 3rd statistically in the United States this year and led by John Shirer, our fine Veer option quarterback. John is, we think, one of the finer football players in the United States and has just done a tremendous job for us all year. He's come up with a big play both on the ground and in the air and has executed the option offense about as well as it can be executed. In front of Big John Shirer is our offensive line, is a big physical offensive line, a very quick offensive line, led by our 2 fine offensive guards, Randy Cross and Phil McKinley. Our wide receivers are very skilled people with good quickness in Norm Anderson and Wally Henry. Our running backs, of course, with Wendell Tyler with a great speed and now a new record holder at UCLA. We think we have a very fine, explosive offense. Defensively, we are led by Cliff Frazier. We play the Okie defense, an odd defense, a defense that has matured as a team through the season and gained the experience to become, I hope, a good enough defense to play real sound football today. Our outside linebackers, Dale Curry has become a fine player along with the secondary play of Oscar Edwards. I think we've developed into a very fine, consistent defensive football team.
Well, that was Dick Vermeil, his scouting report. Let's take a look at the other side, Al.
Well, Curry, at the helm of every great football team is the driving force of one man, the head coach. And that head coach has been here many times, and we kind of think he's a winner, Woody Hayes.
The biggest thing we had going for us was our great offensive backfield of Arch Griffin, Cornelius Green, Brian Boschnagel, and Pete Johnson. We had them all back from last year. All 4 of them were great performers, are versatile, and we felt we could have an extremely versatile team because Arch is a great inside and outside runner. Pete's a great inside runner, and Corny's a good outside runner, and Brian is a great pass receiver along with Lenny Willis. So we felt we're going to be strong that way, but we had to rebuild our offensive line from scratch because we had only 2 starters from a year ago, but it came along very fast in spring practice. So what we did drill and work for was to have great diversity in our offense, and I think we've developed it this year because we can run, but also we can pass when the occasion is necessary. On defense, we had an even bigger job because we only had 3 starters from a year ago. So we had to put 8 new men in there, and of course we had our co-captains, Timmy Fox and Kenny Kuhn, but we built around them pretty well. But these other men, for instance, Ray Griffin went over to safety and played great football all year there. We had an All-American at our open side halfback a year ago. Craig Cassidy went in there and played equally as well this year and led the Big Ten in interceptions. And it seemed as though each new man who went in there played as well or even better than the man who played that position a year before. And this great spirit we've had on defense as well as offense and the great leadership that our captains and our seniors have given us is the reason we've come so far. And we don't expect to stub our toe here now.
And Woody Hayes means that. He talked about his backfield. Green at quarterback, Johnson at fullback, Griffin the tailback, Bashnagel at wingback. Many say this is one of the greatest college backfields of all time, position by position.
Well, you know, Kurt, we were trying to think about the last time we might have seen all 4, and I really can't go back. We go back to that great Army team, of course, with Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard and Max Speedy. They were close to this team, but this team has size, it has speed, and above all, it has experience. How many people ever start in 4 Rose Bowl football games?
How about a young coach, Dick Vermeil, 39, going against the old veteran? He was almost in awe of Woody yesterday at the luncheon. What do you think about a young coach against a veteran?
Well, it's exciting. It's exciting for Dick Vermeil. I don't envy his position. I know this. He's a winner. And he showed us that yesterday. He's a classy man, and his players are class. Going to be exciting, but his players better be ready because he's not playing Woody.
No, he's coached under some tremendous men. John Ralston at Stanford for 4 years, back when Stanford came to the Rose Bowl and upset Ohio State and Michigan. And he's coached under George Allen. Tommy Pro, though, Chuck Knox. Not bad men to coach under.
Not bad at all, and yet Woody Hayes knows that he uses every bit of psychology he can use. And we saw him, Kurt, for the first time, giving his coaches a pep talk right before they went into the locker room.
Very unusual. It's a ritual, Woody Hayes. He sends the players in, then gathers his coaching staff around. He gets out some kind of a tape and measures the wind, talks strategy, and then psychs his own assistant coaches up. I think what he's doing is psyching himself up more than anyone.
Yeah, I agree, and I think both coaches are concentrating on one thing, make very few mistakes, and I doubt whether we'll see that number of mistakes from Ohio State particularly.
They've fumbled the ball only 5 times all year. They've taken the ball away from the opponents consistently, and I think what we have to watch for early in this game, UCLA cannot get hit early and get hit hard early. If they do and get way behind, they're in deep trouble.
I agree. John Shira said yesterday we must win the first quarter.
All right, we've gotten the Ohio State and the UCLA viewpoints, and now we're going to be back and meet some of the players of this 76 Rose Bowl game.
You are watching 2 automatic typewriters in action. One is the best known. The other has just been introduced. The new one can automatically type in both directions at the rate of up to 350 words per minute. The automatic typewriter that's twice as fast is made by Xerox. That's right, Xerox.
Merrill Lynch announces more help for the small investor. We were the first to give you better coverage against loss of your securities. One of the first to reduce fees on orders up to $2,000. Now we're giving you an opportunity to save money when you buy or sell odd lots, less than 100 shares of most stocks listed on the New York Stock Exchange. More help for the small investor from Merrill Lynch. 10 shares or 10,000. We want your business.
What a face, you try to face, it's a perfect face, yes it is. Feels so smooth, twin blades smooth, so perfectly smooth, the best there is. You took your perfect face and gave it a perfect track to shave. You shaved it close and safe, you got that perfect.
Get the closest thing to a perfect shave. The Gillette Track 2 shaving system in regular or adjustable cartridges.
That perfect Track 2 face.
Sunday afternoon, it's NBC's Grandstand and the AFC Championship game. Kenny Stabler leads the explosive Oakland Raiders against Mean Joe Green and the rest of the rough, tough Pittsburgh Steelers. The AFC Championship game, Sunday afternoon on NBC. #1 in live sports coverage all year round.
Here in a cool, bright, sunshiny day, let's go down to the field now, and we're going to hear Miss Kate Smith.
We invite you to rise as the president of the 87th Annual Tournament of Roses, Ralph Helpbringer, escorts this year's Grand Marshal onto the field. Now, before the eyes of our nation and the world, may we join hands, row upon row, throughout the Rose Bowl on this first day of our nation's 200th year to reaffirm our dedication, belief, and love for the ideals of this great land and its creed, in God we trust. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kate Smith singing God Bless America. Play band and choir in singing our national anthem.
Miss Kate Smith, double duty, Grand Marshal of the parade. Tremendous. Great ovation for her here. God bless America and our national anthem. One of the traditions of the Rose Bowl games, a visit by the players and the coaches of both teams to another great American tradition, Disneyland. Gives the players who will play in the granddaddy of all the bowl games a chance to frolic in the granddaddy of the All-American playground. There are 50 major attractions here, and 10 million people a year come through the Disneyland gates and prove to themselves that fairy tales can come true. They can happen to you if you're young at heart. And we went along with the players and coaches for their pre-Rose Bowl trip to Disneyland and decided on it as the backdrop for our introduction of the coaches and the starting seniors. We begin with the UCLA Bruins, an underdog team which hopes to derail the #1 Ohio State Buckeyes. The head coach of the Cinderella Bruins is 39-year-old Dick Vermeil. In this, only his second year at the helm, he has his Bruins in the run for the roses. Two of UCLA's stalwarts on defense are cornerback Barney Person and nose guard Cliff Frazier. They hope to put the Buckeye running game on a merry-go-round to a loss. Frazier at 6'5" and 254 is the heart of the Bruin defense. He accounted for 75 tackles and 4 sacks and figures to try and jam up the middle of the Buckeye attack. On offense, the Bruins use the Veer T, which features a hard running game. Two of the linemen who open the holes are Randy Cross and Phil McKinley. Both were all Pacific 8 this year. But the man who makes the offense go is All-American quarterback John Shira. He runs, he passes, he leads the team. Shira accounted for more than 1,900 yards in offense this year. Maybe Esmeralda, the fortune teller, gave him a big play for today's game. Two other starting Bruins seniors will be hearing about during the game are outside linebacker Dale Curry, inside linebacker Terry Totolo. Totolo led the team in tackles. Curry finished second. The Bruins kicking game. John Sullivan does the punting. Brett White does the place kicking. When they go big game hunting today, it'll be for the coffin corner or the goal post. Since the UCLA team is called the Bruins, it's natural that split end Norm Anderson and running back Eddie Ayers would feel right at home with Brer Bear. Brer Bear is a bit bigger than the Ohio State defensive players. He stands 8 feet tall and towers over Adventureland.
Jimmy, wait up! I can't!
One of the biggest Disney characters is Mickey Mouse. It all started with Mickey 46 years ago. Offensive tackle Jack DeMartinez is one of the biggest Bruins at 6'4", 273.
There are more than characters of fantasy and rides at Disneyland. Our players and coaches saw some real live people in America on parade.
Each day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Disneyland's Main Street becomes the stage for America on Parade. It's a whimsical salute to our nation's 200th birthday. And no salute to Uncle Sam would be complete without good old Betsy Ross knitting the stars and stripes. Now, here's a difficult fellow to get along with, Grumpy, one of the 7 dwarfs in Snow White. But Ohio State coach Woody Hayes, undefeated in 11 games this year and going for a national title, just charmed Grumpy right off his feet. Everybody wants to make it to the top of the mountain. This year did just that for tailback Archie Griffin. He won the Heisman Trophy for the 2nd straight year, something that's never been done before in college football, and once again, he's everybody's All-American. In his career at Ohio State, Archie Griffin has run for more than 5,500 yards. His partner in offensive devastation is fellow All-American Cornelius Green, Ohio State's quarterback and signal caller. Green was the 1974 Rose Bowl's most valuable player. If Ohio State comes out on top today, Green just might repeat as MVP. Even here at Disneyland, the Rose Bowl gets top billing as wingback Brian Baschnagel watched one of Main Street's biggest draws, the Glassblower, did her thing to show that Disneyland and the Rose Bowl go hand in hand. Most of the big names in Ohio State teams, of course, play offense, but their defensive team is also part of the #1 college football squad in America. When opposing teams try to pass, defensive backs Craig Cassidy and Tim Fox are called on to put out the fire. Teams which hope to pull off an upset must fool linebackers Ken Kuhn and Ed Thompson, 2 other Ohio State defensive standouts. Right now, instead of stacking up running plays, Kuhn and Thompson Just put some push cars in motion. The Mark Twain riverboat is patterned after the Queens of the River, which once traveled the Mississippi. For offensive linemen Ted Smith and Scott Donnelly and defensive end Pat Curto, a trip on the Mark Twain gave them time to think about UCLA. And we end our trip to Disneyland with tight end Larry Kane and split end Larry Willis in the mine train. Later on today, they'll be prospecting for pigskin instead of gold. Bruins and the Ohio State Buckeyes to come out on the field. As we told you, the temperature is in the mid-50s. The breeze, I'd say, is from our left. Looks to be about a 10 or 12 mile an hour breeze. And there's the Ohio State band. UCLA will be across the way from us. The Ohio State rooting section right down below. They have about 10 or 12,000 here from all over the Midwest. And we're waiting for the Bruins to come out. Here they are, representing the Pac-8, the UCLA Bruins. And now the Ohio State Buckeyes. Down to our right are coming on. We're going to have the toss of the coin. They really get jumped up, don't they? The referee today will be Gene Calhoun. He's an attorney from Madison, Wisconsin. Jim Cheffers is the umpire. Whittier, California. He's the director of athletics at Los Angeles Unified School District. The headlinesman, Bob Dagenhart of Dayton, Ohio. He's the vice president of a heavy equipment company. The line judge is Frank Fiddler of Seattle, principal of Roosevelt High School there. The back judge, Don Hakes, South Holland, Illinois, a dean of students at Thornton Fractional North High School, and the field judge, Bill Fetty of Bellevue, Washington, a sales representative. The captains will be moving out, and you're going to hear the actual toss of the coin. John Shiro, the number 15. There's Woody. Cliff Frazier will be 76. Jeff Smith, 42, captain of the special teams. Ohio State will be represented by Archie Griffin, Brian Bashnagel, Tim Fox, Ken Kuhn. Here it is. The referee's mic evidently is not working. Technical problems. Let's watch the toss. These four men of Ohio State have come to the Rose Bowl 4 years in a row. A real rarity of intercollegiate sports. They're waiting for that coin now. Now they're marching out to the 50. In fact, Al, there are 7 men in this Ohio State team that are here for the 4th year in a row.
You're right, and John Shira said yesterday this is only his first time, and he wants to make it a good one.
Referee, Mr. Gene Calhoun. Captain.
Captain, you're Captain Fraser. Captain Shira, Captain Smith. All right, meet Captain Coons of Ohio State. Captain Bonamici, is that right, of Ohio State? Captain Bashnagel, Captain Fox, Captain Griffin. Let me introduce the officials for today's game, fellas. The back judge will be Don Hakes, line judge Frank Fiddler, head linesman Bob Dagenhart, field judge Bill Fetty, and the umpire Jim Cheffers. For the day's game, UCLA, you are the visiting team. Who's going to call a toss for you? You're going to call it? All right, you're going to call a heads. It's a bicentennial coin, as you can see. That's the heads, that's the tails. I'll flip it and catch it in the air. He calls heads, and a tails it is. Ohio State, you've won the toss. You can take the football. And which goal do you want to defend? All right, turn around here. Come here a second. As captains of your team, you have responsibility for your players. Keep them under control. Good luck and Happy New Year. Go ahead.
Nick Bonamici was also out there among those Ohio State players. Ohio State in the darker red jerseys will receive on your left. UCLA will kick off on your right. And kicking off for UCLA will be Brett White. We'll watch and see who Ohio State spreads out. They'll probably have Leonard Willis in the middle, number 89 deep. He'll be flanked to his left by Archie Griffin, 45, and to his right by Brian Baschnagel, number 48.
One quick note, Kurt, with Ohio State receiving in the last game, for those of you who may not recall it, the first 6 times Ohio State had the football, they scored. The first time in that game, however, UCLA scored. So the opening series obviously important.
We're way late getting into this kickoff. Woody Hayes still has his team. UCLA's out there, and the referee is trying to get Ohio State out of their final huddle. And here they come breaking out. Number 1, they say. They hope to wind up that position when this game's over. UCLA hopes to come in here and knock them off.
I'd hate to say this, Kurt, but this all might be contrived just to get the UCLA kids a bit more edgy.
Red White's waiting. Lenny Willis is back on the goal line. Baschnagel and Griffin are on the 10. And here we go, the 62nd Rose Bowl game. And the kick is to Willis on the 5. He's trying to get to the 15. Not much of a return. He's ridden out of bounds on the 17-yard line. He's hit there by Lynn, the cornerback. So UCLA covered that kickoff very well. Anytime you hold a team within the 20, that's the objective of the coaches. Ohio State's ball now on their 17, first down. Their backfield will be Cornelius Green, number 7, a quarterback. The fullback will be Pete Johnson, number 33. Tailback will be Archie Griffin, 45. Baschnagel to wingback, 48. Lenny Willis to split end, 89. Larry Kane, 85 to the tight end. Corny Green, the most valuable player of this game last year, the most valuable player of the Big Ten this year. First play from scrimmage. And he keeps the ball. Rips his way over his 20 and up to his 23 or 4 where Oscar Edwards of Riverside, California met him there and drove him down.
Just a comment. The opening series saw a different defense by UCLA. Rather than using their odd defense, they took their right linebacker inside, Terry Tatalo, number 56, put him at the line of scrimmage. He made the tackle.
Chris Ward's at left tackle for Ohio State. Smith's at left guard. Applegate at center. Ayers starting at right guard. Danley at right tackle. Second down 5, Ohio State from their 22. Archie Griffin, a big hole, and he has a first down. Terry Tatulo, the inside linebacker, made the hit on him.
Here's the key. Now they're in their odd. Frazier's head up on the middle. A double team on him. They try to get the fullback into Tatalo, the middle linebacker. In that time, they went to the 3-man front with 4 linebackers.
Our first down of the game. Archie Griffin's been a starter for Ohio State since the 3rd game of his freshman season. Ayers now is at center. And there's Green on a bad toss. Looks like a possible UCLA recall. Ohio State's on it. UCLA had 2 shots on it. Who's got the ball here? UCLA had 2 men right there on a bad toss out by Green. And we nearly had our first big break here.
We're going to see a little bit of a guessing game now. This UCLA defense is not going to show that one picture. They're going to show an odd man line. That's when Frazier, Clifford Frazier, 76, is on the nose. They'll show an even man line when number 56, Tatalo, goes to the line of scrimmage. The wide linebackers are going to play that pitch out, as you just saw when Woody Green came down, Cornelius Green rather, came down the line of scrimmage.
Ayers at center, Lucas at right guard for Ohio State. Second down, 14. Baschnagel in motion. Green fading for the first throw of the game, and it is complete. If it's inbound, great toss. He hits Lenny Willis to split in. and Schmidt took him up in the air. Lenny Willis, outstanding speed. He plays on a team that doesn't exactly get careless by throwing too much.
No, they don't, but this man led the Big Ten in completions, and every time he throws that football 5 times, he's been completing 3 of them.
Ohio State, year before last, was a passing to Green that gave them the victory over USC. In a slot now, there goes Bashnagel in motion around her 47 with a first down. And that's Griffin. Griffin just reaching the 50-yard line. Dale Curry, second on the UCLA team in tackles this year. A senior from San Mateo made the tackle. He'll play outside to the left. Pete Pele will be the left tackle. Frazier's the nose guard. The right tackle is Tui Supo, and the outside linebacker is Raymond Burke.
Way to go, Kurt. We were waiting first for Tui Asusopo. McGowan got it.
I think you'll have a great game today now. We got through that first. Second down, 7. Raymond Jones in a split end. Big hole. Man, what a hole there. Archie Griffin, hit by Tui Asusopo from Long Beach, California, just a freshman. Only 2 times as a starter in his career has Archie Griffin failed to reach 100 yards in a game. An amazing record for the 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. Ohio State has a first down now. They're on the UCLA 43-yard line. Willis back in the game and split end. This drive is carried from the Ohio State 17. Lining up in their eye. Woody Hayes gave credit yesterday at the kickoff luncheon to John McKay. But many of the things we use, we have borrowed from McKay of USC. Griffin. I'll tell you, that front line, that Ayers and Danley and Lukers are just opening them up in there right now, and it's the secondary person and Schmidt who had to make the tackle, and they're looked over to the yardsticks. No measurement. Be second down and maybe a short yard. Now they call for a measurement. Bring him in.
And you know, when that safety man is making that tackle, you're in trouble. Now, what we like to do, and I think you might enjoy, is watch number 33 as we watch this. Just short. But number 33 is Pete Johnson. He's a junior. He is 240 pounds, and he is some kind of a blocker. So we might watch that man that leads Archie Griffin into the hole.
Well, Archie already has 27 yards. He's carried the ball 3 1/8 miles at Ohio State coming into this game. Now we have a new split end, Greg Storr, number 80. He's another tight end. That gives him more blocking power. Second down a foot. They're in there what Woody Hayes calls their robust T. The old full house T formation. They give the ball to Pete Johnson. He has the first down. Short yardage to him is just a breeze. He has scored 25 touchdowns this year. The all-time record for touchdowns in a year held by Lydell Mitchell, 29 of Penn State. Pele and Raymond Bell on the tackle. You have 4 linebackers. The 2 inside ones are Bell and Tatulo. The left corner is Barney Person. The right corner is Harold Harden, number 2. Oscar Edwards and Pat Schmidt are the safety men. Lenny Willis checked back in. First down, Ohio State. Around the UCLA 31-yard line. No score early, but UCLA took the opening kickoff and has had it since. There they go again. Pete Johnson, a straight handoff behind wedge blocking. Tui Asusopo, number 40, made the hit.
You know, when you watch a Woody Hayes coach team, it's interesting because the safety men are playing run constantly, disdaining the pass, and it seems like such a temptation for Corny Green not to fake it and just drop back and toss it deep.
Very deliberately, the Buckeyes are moving. They've had the ball 5 minutes now on this grinding march with 1 pass. They split out into a slot left. Nothing new here. There goes Archie in motion. They fake. Here goes Green with those quick feet of his. What a runner this fellow is. Look at that. Took the whole UCLA team to bring him down. And sitting right next to me, fighting for Ohio State, is Rex Kern, their former All-American. He was just like Green. And this is the kind of man you have to have in this kind of an offense.
Well, he sure makes it exciting. He can move in so many different directions. Lost some yardage here, but he moves well.
He has about as pair of quickest feet as I've ever seen, Al.
He sure does, Kerry. We're going to see him at some point in this game make some kind of an electrifying run.
Now this is a big play for the Bruins. 3rd and 7 for Ohio State on the UCLA 28. Green to Griffin, and they ran him down on the 26-yard line. He's hit there by Frazier and Tuiasosopo. A 2-yard gain. It's on the 26th of UCLA. And coming in now is Tom Kleben, born in Czechoslovakia, senior. He's hit 2 out of 7 field goals this year. Bashnagle will hold. And the field goal will be from the 33, making it a 43-yard field goal attempt. Kleben had that big field goal day against Michigan year before last. Bashnagle spots it. The kick is up. It's got the distance. And the kick is good. A 43-yard field goal by Tom Kleben. And Ohio State's out in front. The score, Ohio State 3, UCLA nothing.
We're Transamerica, the people in the pyramid, and we're going to give you first-rate service at a fair price from every company that's part of Transamerica, from Occidental Life of California and Budget Rent-A-Car, from Pacific Finance and Transamerica Insurance, from Trans-International Airlines and Transamerica Title Insurance. From every Transamerica company, we promise first-rate service at a fair price. Today and every day. Because we figure that's the best way to get your business back again. Tomorrow.
UCLA now will receive. Ohio State is just showing you the best defense you can have. They had the ball 6.5 minutes. After taking the opening kickoff, they went 57 yards with it before they were stopped and kicked the field goal. Spladany will kick off from the near hash mark, trying to give UCLA less field to operate in. Wally Henry covering the near sideline, Jewel Thomas the far, and the kick deep. Oh, what a leg he has, that Spladany. He leads the nation in punting the last 2 years. He is an outstanding athlete, could be playing regular, but he's such a great kicker that Woody Hayes doesn't want to get him risk injured, so he won't let him play except for the punting duties. He averages 46, 47 yards a punt and kicks them high, and very few returns against them. All right, UCLA moves to the attack for the first time from their own 20. Shira the quarterback. Tyler and Ayers are the running backs, and Henry is the flanker. Shira running. DeVere gives the ball to number 30, Eddie Ayers. He doesn't get much. Norm Anderson will be the split end. He's 89. Don Pedersen is the tight end, 85. Pat Curto made that last tackle. Gus Coppins at left tackle. Phil McKinley at left guard. Mitch Kahn the center. Randy Cross the right guard. And Bob Kazarian is the right tackle. Second down, 10, UCLA. Right along their own 20-yard line. Ohio State leading 3-0. Starling, as he was hit, tried to pitch out and nearly made a disastrous play. Luckily, Wendell Tyler saved the pitch out on the rolling ball on the ground to him.
One way to stop the veer is stop the quarterback, and the idea here is to get the quarterback. The man driving in does that.
Aaron Brown.
Kurt, we might, as we look at this deep perimeter of Ohio State, keep our eye on number 43, Bruce Rule. He generally plays on the tight side of the field.
Very quick, Beeman, Brown, and Bonamici. The middle of that Ohio State line, they're cat-like. Schiller now throwing the pass wide open and completes it to Wally Henry, the flanker, but he's short of a first down. He's covered there by Craig Cassidy, whose father, Hopalong, was a Heisman Trophy winner in 1955. The Ball will be on the UCLA 28-yard line, 4th and 2, and they'll have to give the ball up. In punt formation, it'll be John Sullivan, who averaged 37.4 this year. The safety man is Tim Fox. You'll remember last year, Colsey. Neil Colsey, now starring with the Raiders, was their punt return man. Craig Cassidy's also back short. John Sullivan to do the punting. Flags go down. The kick, the driving spiral, handle on the 27 by Fox to the 30 of Ohio State, and out of bounds. So we had flags down on the snap. Let's see what this is about. Dick Vermeil wants to await the official's call. And they're asking for the ball back. Offside against UCLA. And it has been declined by Ohio State. He started to ask for the ball back. So now while Ohio State gets ready to go to the attack, timeout the score, 3-0 Ohio State.
Comfort. In a big car, you expect it. But now you can find it in a new kind of small American car. Volare. Beautiful. With wide doors to make getting in more comfortable. The Volare 4-door sedan. What a handsome car. There is more room than other small cars. The Volare wagon is truly unique, with 4 doors and the comfort of 26% more load space than any other small American wagon. 26%. All these Volares have a special suspension for a smooth, comfortable ride like a big car. Yet, they're not expensive. Volare. Plymouth Volare. The new small car with the accent on comfort.
It's a Sunday mystery double feature. Ellery Queen, TV's best new whodunit, now on Sundays at 8, 7 Central. Then see McCoy starring Tony Curtis Sunday night.
The San Gabriel Mountains with 106,000 people here. This has to be one of the most beautiful views in sports, no matter where you are in the world. First down, Ohio State from their 34. Green handing off to the fullback, Pete Johnson. Straight ahead again to the nose guard, Cliff Frazier, and the safety man, Pat Schmidt, 88, made the tackle.
As is always the case against Ohio State, that is the play you must stop. Cliff Frazier has the tough job. He's getting the double team. But oftentimes, that double team is driving Cliff right into the linebacker.
And Frazier has just left the game. Now check that, he stays in, and Raymond Bell goes out. Brad Vassar's come in, a linebacker. Second down, 3. Ohio State from their 41. And we may have to delay a game there. Green obviously calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. Pete Johnson carried. Now they bring the ball back. And we'll measure off the 5 yards. We'll go back to the Ohio State 36. They'll have a second down and 12. A legal delay of the game. Corny Green pops them in. He was very proud to win the Most Valuable Player Award in the Big Ten when you consider that he plays in the same backfield with a Heisman Trophy winner,
and
Archie Griffin.
And the Heisman Trophy winner said he deserves it. He said he's our quarterback and does the most things.
Second down and 12. Bash Nagel in motion. Good receiver. Griffin turns that corner, slammed hard down at the 40-yard line of Ohio State by Dale Curry, who went from left to right to pursue. Third down coming now for the Buckeyes. They're on their 40.
Here's a good opportunity, Kurt, to watch Oscar Edwards. He's number 21. It's a third down situation. The quarterback can go either way. Oscar is the hitter, number 21.
They're out in the slot right. Lenny Willis and Bashnagel are spread to the right. Third and 4. Ohio State's ahead, 3-0, first period. Green will throw. Maybe there's a flag down, by the way. And Green runs it up to his 44. Very close to a first down, hit by the nose guard, Cliff Frazier. But a flag was dropped. And Lenny Willis is signaling it's against UCLA. It is against UCLA. Offside. Now they'll talk to Corny Green, see what they want to do. And the other captain, Brian Baschnagel. Baschnagel may be the best athlete on this team. He can do anything. He can catch, he can run. One of the fastest players on the team, an excellent blocker. He doesn't get the glory, the touchdowns of Griffin and Johnson, the yardage, but Woody Hayes said he's one of the hardest working and most valuable men that he's ever coached. First down, Ohio State on their 46. They've had the ball about 95% of this game. They're leading 3-0. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Willis slips deep to the right. There goes Baschnagel and spread him out to the left. And the ball is given to Archie Griffin. Griffin slips away. He was hit at the 47 by Frazier, who rode along with him, and then Dale Curry finally put the hit on him, and the ball is spotted down at the Ohio State 49. Second down, 7 for Ohio State.
You know, so much of the keying that's being done by UCLA is a combination thing. They're keying both Pete Johnson and Archie Griffin. Now they're looking at Pete when he's coming straight ahead, number 33.
Second down, 7, Ohio State on its 49. Big hole open for Pete Johnson. That's the first man through in the option. If he takes it away from him, then Green has the option to either keeping or pitching out.
All right, but there also, Kurt, on this play as we watch Pete Johnson, Archie Griffin, not in your picture, was taking a move to the outside. Linebackers go with him, and this opens up the middle for the big man. Good hole, good call.
He'll be the only starter from this backfield back next year. He's a junior. Green, Griffin, and Baschnagel are seniors. First down, Ohio State on the UCLA 41. Using Baschnagel in motion. There's Johnson again, and he pile drives his way to the 35 of UCLA. Manu Tuiasiopo made the tackle. Listen, if you think I'm having trouble, how about the public address?
I didn't say a thing. I'm just sitting here. No, really, again, we saw Archie Griffin going in motion to his left. The linebacker moves with him. Pete hits inside. Soon they're going to give it to Baschnagel.
Ohio State ahead 3-0. Griffin, 3 yards, very strong from the waist up. You hit Archie Griffin high, he can break tackles easily. Tuiasiopo again on the play, along with Pete Pele, the left tackle. Just a freshman is Manu. Lenny Willis has gone out a split in. They put the double tight end setup in now, Kane and Storr. Ohio State on the 33-yard line of UCLA with a third down and 2. 2:34 to go in the first period. Ohio State ahead 3-0. A robust tee. And they messed up on the handoff that time. Johnson trying to hit through. Both of them together hit. Raymond Bell stopped them on the line of scrimmage, and let's see what Woody Hayes calls for now. It's still on the 33 of the Bruins, and it's 4th down and 2.
I have the feeling that Woody does not like to settle for a field goal, at least not the second time. He wants that score, the touchdown.
They're going for it. 4th and 2. Now a whistle. And I think we have a timeout charge to UCLA. So they'll have 2 remaining in this half. Here comes Corny Green over to talk to his head coach, Woody Hayes. Now, so far in the first period, 41 yards rushing for Archie Griffin. A timeout with a score. Ohio State 3, UCLA nothing.
It's going to be a little short. About 70 miles. This is Bob for Texaco Hope in the Gulf of Mexico. This water is 260 feet deep. It can cost up to 6 times more to drill for oil out here than on land. But we've got to do this if America's to become less dependent on unreliable sources of oil from abroad. At Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
So Masquerade is coaching the Celtics, huh?
You know I was only kidding.
Kidding, huh? Well, Howard didn't think so. You know, he asked me, were you really a friend of mine or just an actor?
What'd you tell him?
I told him you were an obscure actor.
Oh, after all those calls I've dialed to Seattle, I'll bet Howard doesn't make half that many calls to his friends.
What friend? Good friends are for keeps. So keep in touch. Long distance is the next best thing to being there.
All right, Ohio State coming up now with a 4th down and 2 on the UCLA 33. Ohio State ahead 3-0. They have dominated the first period. The old straight T. And Green on a rollout, being chased. He throws. It's incomplete. Hit the turf. And I wonder if he went out of bounds. It was intended for Brian Bastnagle. UCLA stopped him. Big rush there by Bruce Davis, Marbury, Maryland, who put a tremendous rush on Corny Green. And Green's hard to rush with his quick feet.
And they went to the deep and the heavy front. They put in additional line people. They wanted to stop the run, and that broke up the blocking pattern. Good move.
A key hold here. Watch this rush here now.
It's really 2 key holds, Kurt. When they stopped them for the earlier field goals, and they had to settle for that, and this time they take it away.
Minute 46 to go in the first period. Shira at quarterback. Shira keeps, pitches out to Tyler, and Tyler's run out of bounds. Wendell Tyler set the all-time seasonal record for UCLA running back this year. 1,216 yards, average 6.5 yards a carry. Notice his left arm. He has a fractured wrist. They just took the cast off. It is heavily taped for this game. A cracked left wrist. Pat Curdo and Bruce Rule made the stop. They are what they call the boundary men. They play the short side of the field defensively. Corny Green, the Ohio State quarterback. On the 36-yard line of UCLA, they have a 2nd and 7. Straight ahead give to Eddie Ayers. UCLA really doesn't have a fullback type. They really have 2 halfbacks lined up behind Shire. Tyler weighs 184, Ayers weighs 185. They don't have a big hulking Pete Johnson at 245. Ed Thompson in the last tackle for the Buckeyes. Now they're talking to part of the offensive team, defensive team of UCLA.
Don Pedersen, number 85, is a pretty good tight end. Doesn't have great speed, has good hands, has fumbled though on occasion.
3rd down and 5 for UCLA. Here's a counter play. Shira is going to try and throw. Takes off on the run, and he's spilled at the 39-yard line. Anytime you see him do that reverse pivot, it's a counter play. Aaron Brown made the hit on him. Watch him on his reverse now.
Guy's excellent mobility. He moves almost as well as Green. Looking, he almost gets away or comes awfully close to breaking this one for good yardage.
So once again, UCLA will have to punt. John Sullivan for the punting, and Tim Fox and Craig Cassidy back for Ohio State. 30 seconds to go in the first period. Big rush on. The kick's away, a wobbly end-over-end move. Gets a good bounce and it's out of bounds. So it doesn't come out all that badly for UCLA. They'll put the ball out on the 26-yard line of Ohio State. They're leading on a field goal. 43 yards by Clavin. Coming up next, the 2nd and 4th ranked teams in the country, as voted by the nation coaches. Oklahoma and Michigan will be meeting in Miami in the 1976 Orange Bowl. On NBC Sports, #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. Ohio State on its 26th first down. The last 24 seconds of the first period. Green now starts to run. Boy, I don't know how he got out of that mess. They pull him down to 31. Should have had him tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
What instinct, though. That first move of Green's, if he had released the football, it was an interception and possibly a touchdown. He instantaneously pulled it down and ran and picked up about 4 yards.
2nd down, 6. And there is the gun. And we have the end of the first period of the 1976 Rose Bowl game. The score is Ohio State 3 and UCLA 0.
Onion.
2 old beef.
We built our Big Mac for all beef patties, special blessed lettuce.
I got a terrible memory, really.
Two all beef patties.
All right.
Special sauce. Lettuce.
On a sesame seed bun.
It's a meal in a...
Forgot lettuce and onions. Oh, lettuce and onions.
Two all beef patties, special sauce and lettuce too. Cheese. Cheese, pickles, onions, and lots of sesame seeds for you.
Bun seed sesame on onions, pickled cheese, lettuce, sauce, special patties, beef all too.
What was that?
12 beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun backwards.
'Cause you deserve a Big Mac today.
That's good.
At McDonald's.
That's impossible.
All for you.
There is a new kind of American small car, Volare. Beautiful and so comfortable. Volare has a special suspension that gives you a smooth, comfortable ride, like a big car. You'll love it. Volare, Plymouth Volare, a new small car with the accent on comfort.
Kurt Gowdy and L.D. Rogatis as we enter the second period. The Buckeyes leading the UCLA Bruins 3-0. Second down, 6, Ohio State on its 30-yard line. Ohio State's had 19 plays from scrimmage to 6 for UCLA. Green handing off to Archie Griffin, who was stopped by the nose guard, Cliff Frazier, number 76. And Griffin now has 44 yards rushing. He's a leading rusher. Ohio State has 98 yards total offense to UCLA's 14.
This actually was an excellent first quarter for UCLA. Statistically, they lost, but they did pretty well on the scoreboard, and they're holding them very well. 85, Larry Kane, good tight end for Ohio State. Good hands.
Third down, 4 for Ohio State. Bashnagel in motion. And they pile him up short of the first down. Pete Johnson stacked up by Cliff Frazier and Raymond Bell. And Tuli Osasopo. And here's Skladany, and now you're going to watch the premier punter in collegiate ranks, Tom Skladany, averaging 47 yards a kick this year. He kicks them deep and he kicks them high. They get very little yardage against him on punt return. Dankworth, number 19, and Severin Reese, number 1, are back. This man is the finest punter in the history of Ohio State. He gets a low kickoff. Not a good one for him. On the 31-yard line, Dankworth has it. Being safe. Comes up to the 30, still going, and down to the 34. He's hit there by Logan. Jeff Logan.
Here's an end zone view of it. Showing some good footwork there. Again, not bad field position. They have not as yet at UCLA have had any kind of real workable field position.
All right, Rick Walker's gone in the tight end. He's to the left. Anderson is split into the right. Shira down that line of scrimmage trying to work the ball. And there's a hit on Eddie Ayers by Aaron Brown, his sophomore. Is really cat-like in there with Nick Bonamici, the junior right tackle. All three of these men, as we told you in the middle, Beeman 67, Brown 55, and Bonamici 75, have tremendous potential. Their best days are ahead, probably. They're very good right now. They develop rapidly this year. Severin Reese is out of the flanker. Wally Henry comes in, number 8. It is now second down, 11. UCLA cannot move so far against Ohio State. Great drop back pass to the 35-yard line, and down goes Rick Walker on his 35, maybe falling to his 36. Craig Cassidy, quite a story. Played behind Neil Colsey 3 years. Famous father, never gave up. This year, he finally got the shot, and he's improved with each game. He had 8 interceptions. Craig Cassidy.
Probably
not easy to be the son of a famous father at the same school.
Probably the finest receiver, and maybe the man with the quickest speed is Wally Henry, number 8.
This is a 3rd down and 8 for UCLA. They have to get something moving. Here's a deep bomb. It's well covered, smothered all the way. Intended for Norm Anderson, and he was taken down the field by Rule and Griffin. Some of the UCLA fans thought he was held up going down the sideline. Ray Griffin, number 44, is Archie's brother. And Duncan Griffin is a freshman, 46. And there's a 9th grade player in Columbus, Keith Griffin. On and on they come. Punt formation again. There's John Sullivan. Fox and Cassidy are back deep. This is a beautiful catch. Chasing Fox back to his 8. Gives the ball off on reverse to the 15, the 20, and down at the 24 is Ray Griffin. They really worked that reverse beautifully. So they brought it back from the 8 and spotted down on the 23 of Ohio State. We'll take a timeout. There's your score in a tight one. Ohio State 3, UCLA nothing.
We all want good news round the corner, good times wherever we are. Good friends good and close to home, more good years from our car. Well, don't you know there's good news round the corner, good times wherever you are. Good friends good and close to home, more good years in your car. Yes, there's good news round the corner, good times wherever you are. Good year good and close to home, for more good years in your car. Come see, there's good news round the corner, good year wherever you are. Good year good and close to home, for more good years in your car. Oh yes, there's good year round the corner, good year wherever you are. Good year good and close to home, for more good years in your car.
Goodyear Tires and Goodyear Service for more good years in your car.
Goodyear Tires and Goodyear Service for more good years in your car.
New World Hard Choices American Foreign Policy 1976. Join John Chancellor for one of the most important specials television has ever brought you. Monday at 8, 7 Central Time.
Ohio State's ball, its own 23-yard line, same backfield, Green, Griffin, Johnson, and Baschnagel. Ohio State leading 3-0, 11:55 to go in the first half. Willis is a split end. First man through, Pete Johnson is hit by Cliff Frazier. Frazier, a senior, playing a very active game in that middle. He's backed up by Raymond Bell.
Cliff Frazier has to stop the center, has to stop the double team, straighten up the center, pushes the guard back. The guard could not pull out as effectively as he'd like. That is about as well as you're going to do to bottle up that middle.
Second down, 5, Ohio State. 28-yard line. Line of scrimmage in their own territory. Baschnagel again going out. Here's Green on a keeper. Oh, he nearly had his head torn off that time by Dale Curry, the outside linebacker, who made 96 tackles this year. Second on the UCLA squad. And Corny Green's back in the huddle, remembering that one. It is on the 31-yard line of Ohio State. They have a 3rd and 2. UCLA has not made a first down in this game.
As we look at that defensive front, rather, of UCLA, probably more stress is placed on those 4 linebackers. Totalo in the middle has to play it very tough, as does Bell.
3rd and 2. Johnson may have it. Frazier again on him. Players look to the far sideline to the yardsticks. And we're going to have a measurement. Gene Calhoun looks over there after he gets everybody unscrambled. Is he going to measure? He is. Bring him on, boys. You just joined us. We have only one score. That was a 43-yard field goal midway in the first period by Tom Clavin. Actually, 6.5 minutes were gone. Ohio State took the opening kickoff, marched 57 yards, and was stopped. First down, Ohio State. Since then, neither team has threatened.
You know, that game 3 months ago, the UCLA team admitted that they might have been a bit in awe of this Ohio State team. National champions, Rose Bowl 3 times in a row, but I tell you, they're not in awe of them today.
Once again, Baschnagel in motion. Reverse pivot by Green. He's pitching out. And they get some yardage, and they run outside that time to Archie Griffin. As he countered that time on the reverse pivot off the quarterback spot. Barney Person, the left corner, was the man that hit Archie Griffin. And it's a first down, Ohio State, on the Ohio State 44-yard line. 11 yards by Archie. And he's running right along now at a 5.5 clip per carry. 10 carries, 55 yards. 10 minutes to play and a half. It's been a favorite for them today. Johnson over the 45 to the 47. Tuiasa Sopo, number 40, just a freshman from Long Beach, made the hit on him. I was hoping he wasn't going to be in many tackles today, but I'll tell you, he's been outstanding. He and Frazier and Curry have made most of the tackles so far.
Also on this side, Raymond Burks, number 87. He plays loose, as does Dale Curry on the far side.
Second down, 7 for the Buckeyes. Green on the keeper, now pitches out to Griffin trailing. And they're starting to pick up yardage on that option play. Pat Schmidt had to nail him there in UCLA territory.
Rex Curran just whispers to me, that's a new play. That is the play that John Shirer runs so well. They get that linebacker in the perfect option kind of a position. He doesn't know whether to go for the quarterback or go for the pitch man. So he goes for neither, and they gain.
Who says Woody never changes?
Woody changes.
Game by game. First down. Ohio State on the UCLA 38. This time Green's down the line, dances away to the 33-yard line of UCLA. And he's hit there by number 59, Pat Pele, the left tackle.
They're using the old KISS formula, Kurt. Keep it simple, stupid. They're either going straight ahead or they're going wide. Nothing too unusual, but very effective.
That's right. They have now marched from their own 23-yard line to the UCLA 33. Ohio State's ahead 3-0. They've had the ball about 85, 90% of the time in this game. Flag down. They may have had a legal delay again. He may have taken too long on the signal count. They stopped the play. Let's see what UCLA will do with it, if it is against a penalty against Ohio State. Ayers is out now at center, and Applegate's gone in. Applegate was scheduled to start. He didn't. They're talking to Dale Curry, number 83. We'll finally get a sign here. 5-yard penalty. Illegal shift.
We might.
Griffin, they didn't stop or something there.
We might now, again, look at one of those linebackers. They may be anticipating pass. Tatalo may be coming. Curry may be coming. One of them may blitz.
Second down, 10. You saw those hand signals? That's a play being passed on to Corny Green. We'll take a look at that. They have a code of hand signals, arm signals. And Corny Green gets all the plays from the bench. Look at this rush on him. And he still unloads the ball and is knocked down by number 21, Oscar, Mr. Deaf Edward, who wears the skull and crossbone towel draped in front of him. A flag has been dropped.
They go into an even man line. Cliff Frazier moves to the left. There's Cliff barreling right through. Chitalo went to the line of scrimmage. Good outside pursuit. And this came close to being intercepted.
Shows you how amazing. There's Oscar Edwards with his skull and crossbone towel. See it hanging down in front of his belt there? This is a 15-yard penalty. That's offensive interference. Offensive pass interference.
Woody doesn't like to put the football up when the opposition knows you have to put it up. I'm not sure how effectively Ohio State has used the draw, but they may decide to come with something like that.
They also lost the down, as you saw on the signal. There's Mr. Death. There's his skull and crossbones. Third down. 23 yards to go. Big rush on him again. They're going to throw the screen and hit immediately and down. Hitting the knee down is Brian Bastnagel. He didn't have a chance. UCLA are just flattening ears and blowing in there now. On the 45-yard line of Ohio State.
First
the
time.
UCLA throwing defense out, getting a big hand.
First time in 8 years, I hear, they've used the screen. I think they don't use the screen that often.
Dankworth and Reese are back of the double safety. Ladaney punted only 36 yards his first kick. He's been out-kicked so far. This is unusual. 7 minutes to go and a half. 3-0 Ohio State. Here's a typical Ladaney punt. They called for the fair catch. As Collins, they waved the arm instead of holding it upright. It's a touchback. Once that ball hits in the end zone, it's automatically a touchback. And we'll take a timeout. With the score, Ohio State 3, UCLA nothing.
How much do you know about the energy that keeps America going? See if you can answer these 3 questions. What energy heats over half the homes in America? Natural gas, oil, coal, or electricity? Natural gas. It heats and cooks for 40 million families. What energy supplies the largest amount of fuel for industry? Natural gas. It provides half the energy that keeps America's industry running, so millions of jobs depend on gas. What is the main energy produced here in the United States? You guessed it, natural gas. It's our single largest domestic energy source, and our potential gas supplies are huge. The natural gas industry is doing everything it can to develop these badly needed new supplies. But much of this work waits on the tough energy decisions America must make, and soon. Getting more gas can't wait any longer.
Well, you'll have to give those men in the middle a lot of credit at UCLA, and now their pass rush, because they've had the ball, UCLA, only 4 minutes and 24 seconds to 19:36 for Ohio State. And UCLA does not have a first down, and the score is only 3-0. Ohio State has 9 first downs. Shira to throw, shoots it out, crossing pattern, intercepted by Bruce Rule, number 43. The pass intended for Norm Anderson. That is the first turnover of the game.
The man on the other side is Cassidy. He made 8 interceptions. Bruce Rule doesn't get that much thrown at him, but making this interception and giving Ohio State just excellent field position.
Bruce Rule. Rule, number 43. The pass intended for Norm Anderson. That is the first turnover of the game.
The man on the other side is Cassidy. He made 8 interceptions. Bruce Rule doesn't get that much thrown at him, but making this interception and giving Ohio State just excellent field position.
Bruce Rule, Southfield, Michigan, a junior. He plays the closed end of the field of the halfback position. Greg Cassidy, the wide open side. First down now, Ohio State on the UCLA 47. Green to Johnson. Johnson on a sort of a veer slant, close to the 40-yard line of UCLA. First down yardage, Ohio State's average 5 yards on first down. UCLA 1/2 of a yard on first down. With a second and 9.5 to go, you're in trouble. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Kurt Gowdy and L.D. Rogatis back with you from the Rose Bowl. Hammering ahead again is Pete Johnson. They're going to him now a lot. Greg Storer, a tight end, has replaced Lenny Willis. Have a double tight end offense in. Get some extra blocking. Frazier made that last stop. And coming on now is Bruce Davis, 71 for UCLA.
They're going to go with that heavy front again. They're going to go with a four-man front. This is where Cornelius Green is so valuable. He decides to keep. He's got that ability.
Third down and a yard to go for Ohio State. He may have it. He was stopped at first, Pete Johnson. In that second extra, Terry Totolo made the hit on him. And what's this? Woody's out there. Woody Hayes. Just wanted a check, I guess, or
wide side of the football
may have been a fight.
The wide side of the football field is to the top of your screen. Dale Curry, 83, has a big responsibility out there.
Ayers back in its center now. I think there was a little scramble and all that pile up, and Woody was going out to be the pacifier. Here's Green. Coming back again. This may be a big yardage play. I mean, he takes nothing into something all the time. He takes disaster into triumph. For those feet of his.
Here's a situation again where the wide linebacker makes such an excellent play. Now, Green knew there was nowhere to go. Curry had it cut off. The outside, the defensive end, Pele, had it cut off. Here's where he shows his mobility. The most dangerous, perhaps the most dangerous man they've got.
He gained 473 yards on the ground this year, ran for 8 touchdowns, passed for 6, first down Ohio State on the UCLA 21. 3-0, Ohio State ahead. And the pitch off just in time, a fumble, and UCLA Barney Green lost the ball. After some very clever ball handling, they lose it over, and they're going to give it to UCLA. Again, they stopped an Ohio State drive. Cliff Frazier on the ball.
Last time they had the football, as we take another look at this, they go for the dive man first. That was the end, coming into the inside. Indecision. He did not see that man come, and he got popped. Comment I was going to make, UCLA. Last time they had the football, Shira went up top. Bruce Rule intercepted. This time, he'll probably keep it on the ground.
We have 5 minutes, 7 seconds and a half, 3-0 Ohio State.
Economy with comfort. Now you can find both in a new kind of small American wagon, Volare. Your mileage may differ, but according to EPA estimates, a 6-cylinder wagon with manual transmission got 30 miles per gallon on the highway, 18 in the city. Plymouth Volare, the new small wagon with the accent on comfort and economy.
Someday, about 2,200 pounds from now and half a dozen feet taller, this little fella might follow the footsteps of his father, a member of the Big Hitch, the team of champion Clydesdales that symbolize the King of Beers, symbolize a tradition, a promise, a dedication that can be summed up in one word: pride. Maybe that's why, when you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
UCLA has 3 yards rushing so far in the first half. And they've been trying to pass lately. The last one was intercepted. Shira. Great dive tackle play off to Wendell Tyler. And the Bruins just can't budge that front line. Bonamici, 75. Brown, 55. It's on the 18-yard line of UCLA. Second down, 9. UCLA, 15-point underdogs. Has had a fighting defensive club on that field that held Ohio State to 3 points in the first half. Wendell Tyler, he's their running hope. And here's Shira pitching out, and he is slammed into. Ray Griffin comes up to hit Tyler. You think Ohio State's good on offense? How about their defensive club? Cat-like. Boy, they're quick.
Tyler's problem, they say, is he fumbles. Well, he didn't fumble here, and he got hit pretty well. This man has been averaging 6.5 every time he's carried the football. So far, he hasn't carried that much. There's Ray. I guess all the Griffins play well.
Third down. 9 to go. UCLA still does not have a first down in this game. Ohio State ahead 3-0 on the 18-yard line. Shira fading. Tosses it. He's got it there. And there's the first down. Don Pedersen, the tight end. He was hit by Ray Griffin. First down for UCLA.
What a pretty play, too. It was a little crossing pattern. The man gets into the zone, clears his linebacker. Shira, though only 5'10", his line did such an effective job of blocking. Drills it right in there. Good pass.
He had combined 1,900 yards this year, 1,100 passing, 800 rushing, and he had just under 50% in passing. Everybody thinks of him as strictly a running quarterback, but he can throw too. First down for the Bruins. There they go on the dime tackle play off the veer, Eddie Ayers. That's just a straight handoff. They double team, and the halfback just dives straight ahead. The old dive tackle play off the split tee out.
The old dive tackle play. You're right, Kurt. It's such a tough thing to realize that quarterback is reading. Now, he can put it in there or pull it back. The man we haven't seen them really work with, I think could be exciting, is number 8, and that's Wally Henry.
All right, they're spreading him to the left. And Norm Anderson to the right on second down 6. 3-0 Ohio State. There's a pass out and complete to Pedersen, the tight end. He's got it for a first down at the UCLA 49-yard line. Tim Fox, the safety man, hit him right after he caught the ball. Good throw, fine running catch by the tight end. First down, 2 in a row for UCLA. They're on their 49. They have 2 minutes and a half to go in the first half. And they're moving Ohio State now in the air. They're in a slot right formation. Shira giving to Wendell Tyler. And he goes to the Ohio State 48-yard line where the boundary side linebacker Ken Kuhn got him, and Pat Curto, the left end. Dick Vermeil looking out. Woody Hayes looks up at the clock. Randy Cross is hurt, their outstanding right guard who can also play center. He's an excellent pulling guard. And if he is injured and has to be taken out, it could hurt the UCLA attack. UCLA and the Ohio State 48-yard line. This is the first time that UCLA has been in Ohio State territory today. We have 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go in this first half. Randy Cross, senior. Isn't that a view?
You did comment, Kurt, about how they flipped this defense, and we'll get to that in a second.
Cross limping out. We'll take a timeout with a score. Ohio State 3, UCLA nothing.
Independence Square, Philadelphia. And there go the Larsons to discover a part of America's history.
Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence
Liberty Bell is inscribed, proclaim liberty throughout
Later
all
they
time.
discovered
Oh, no, the lights.
the Sears Die Hard with extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. It's making history. Sold only at Sears.
My broker thinks it's a good investment. Well, mine's not so sure. Say it, Ted.
My broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says...
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
A junior, Keith Eck, E-C-K, replaced the injured Randy Cross at right guard. First downs, Ohio State 11, UCLA 2. Archie Griffin looking on. The shot was hit. That's the first sack for Ohio State. And storming in there is Eddie Beeman, the left tackle, number 67. And that puts the ball back on the UCLA 44.
Those three inside men have all excellent speed and good foot movement, strong up top. And if you're going to rush a passer, you need good upper body strength.
Well, now it's third down and 15. UCLA coming out in their 44. Putting the slot right formation at the Buckeyes. Shiver again with a blitz. Dancing, goes to the 40, 45, and he's hit from behind and brought down on the 49-yard line of UCLA by Bob Brzezinski, number 84, the junior right end. And Shiver showed you some nifty maneuvering against the Pat rush. They were putting a blitz on him that time.
You know, going against the most awesome offense in collegiate football in Ohio State, over 400 yards total offense a game, and 34-point average a game. It's not a bad first half for the Bruins of UCLA.
Right, they're the top scoring team in the country, Ohio State, 34 points a game. And right now it appears that Aaron Brown, the middle guard, the sophomore, is injured for Ohio State with 46 seconds to go in the half. Sunday, we'll be in Pittsburgh. The Oakland Raiders and Pittsburgh Steelers for the American Football Conference Championship. Before, during, and following the game, grandstand will be seen, including the sixth game of the World Series, some of 75's exciting moments. John Brody will have an analysis of Pittsburgh and Oakland, plus key highlights of the AFC playoff game. Also, a special Gallup Sports Opinion, the poll, on the instant replay, aiding official decisions on controversial plays. I'll give my own opinion. I'm against it. Too many numbers and too many computers in America now. On the 49-yard line of UCLA, they have a fourth down. It'll be the fourth punt for UCLA. Mark Lang replaced Aaron Brown as middle guard for Ohio State. Lang's a sophomore from Cincinnati. High snap. He got it away. Another nice kick, a floater. And it is bounding around and down on the Ohio State 2-yard line. But only 30 seconds to go.
Well, they say the kicking game, Kurt, wins football games, and that's one of the reasons. By the way, the fellow with the yellow shirt on the far side that you keep seeing isn't one of the students. That is Dick Vermeil. He looks awfully young. Watch this, Bob.
49-yard punt, Al. The last time he punted, 56 yards.
I guess he's inspired by Sladany.
Barney Green comes on, and here's the instructions, of course. Don't lose that ball down there. He'll have Kane and Storr and their tight ends. 3-0 to score Ohio State. They spotted that punt on their 4-yard line. They're in their full house backfield. Straight ahead they go. They give the ball to Pete Johnson. 20, the clock moving. UCLA has 2 timeouts left. Ohio State 3. But evidently, that may be the last play of the first half. As we're running down to 10 seconds and a half now. And Woody Hayes, a 15-point favorite in this game, is going to leave the field just 3 points ahead of a battling UCLA ball club today. There it is. That's the end of the first half of the 62nd Rose Bowl game. The score is Ohio State 3, UCLA nothing.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Get aboard, get away, and you're gonna say, let the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll.
How much do you think an oil company makes on every dollar? 20, 30, 60 cents? According to a national survey, most people say 60 cents. At Texaco, in the first 9 months of '75, we made only about 3 cents on every dollar. That's an average of only a penny a gallon for all petroleum and products we sold. Where does the penny go? for dividends, repayment of debts, and mostly it goes back to work to help get you the oil and gasoline you need.
We'll have halftime activities in just a moment. Right now, we pause for station identification.
Sanford and Son, followed by Chico and the Man, Friday night on NBC.
The only score in this game, 6.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Clavin kicked a 43-yard field goal. Ohio State 174 yards total offense to 49 for UCLA. Now, before we go down in the field and listen to the UCLA band, let's find out something about the university itself. UCLA's well-known athletic achievements are only part of the UCLA story. The university's Center for the Health Sciences has produced major advances in medicine, and its research laboratories serve doctors around the world. UCLA is second in the nation in federal support. Its faculty and students work on projects from building new artificial limbs to harvesting the resources of the sea. Seeking to reduce auto pollution, these student engineers developed a car that runs on hydrogen. A handsome outdoor sculpture garden and an excellent library of 3.5 million books contribute to UCLA's academic distinction. A strong faculty with such figures as Nobel Prize winner Willard Libby give UCLA's more than 30,000 students the opportunity for solid achievement. UCLA is rated among the nation's top dozen universities. All right, that's the university. We're here at halftime at the Rose Bowl. Ohio State ahead 3-0. And now let's go down in the field for the UCLA band.
America, California style. Join with us now in a special halftime salute to the California Dream as the UCLA band presents California, Let's Celebrate. California's paranoid population has pondered the appalling possibility of perilous palpitations and the potential for its plopping into the Pacific. The players now pipe this possibility with a prolific performance of I Feel the Earth Move. UCLA is clutched right in the jaws of the entertainment capital of the world. The Bruins band now celebrates Hollywood and the film industry for making a disaster of success and a success out of disaster. And now, what better way to celebrate California than by celebrating California's most honored and colorful tradition, Pasadena's Tournament of Roses. The California dream is the realization of the great American dream: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. 200 years ago, a group of courageous men unfolded the Declaration of Independence, the birth of a dream which has survived in the hearts of all following generations. Today, January 1st, 1976, the Bruin Band echoes this same dream with a joyous proclamation from the rock opera Tommy, "I'm free."
Look at that. Is that the peacock? What is that? Is that the peacock?
Ladies and gentlemen, the UCLA Marching Band.
Today, January 1st, marks the start of NBC's 50th anniversary year and the introduction of our new corporate symbol. You'll be seeing a lot of this new symbol from now on, and we hope you'll come to associate it with the very best in telecasting. We're proud that NBC has been an American tradition for 50 years, and we look forward to the exciting challenges of the years ahead, and NBC will be there to bring you those challenges. Halftime activities will continue in a moment. Right now we pause for station identification.
Sanford and Son, followed by Chico and the Man, Friday night on NBC.
The 1976 Rose Bowl game is brought to you by your nearby Dodge dealer. We invite you to see the new Dodge Aspen. For a small car at a small price, it is unbelievable. By Goodyear, Goodyear tires and Goodyear service for more good years in your car. And by your gas company, reminding you that getting more gas can't wait any longer. Well, you've been watching the Ohio State football team here in Pasadena. Let's take a look now at Ohio State University back in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State University is big. In fact, the enrollment is the largest at any one campus in the nation. But Ohio State is even bigger than that. Scientists from the university are working at both poles to gather information for the Institute of Polar Studies. And researchers from the CLEAR project have helped clean up the pollution in Lake Erie. If there's a tornado in Missouri, it's likely that investigators from Ohio State's Disaster Research Center will be on hand. The work of the geodetic scientists extends beyond even the confines of the earth, and Ohio State trains America's only PhDs in that field. But Paulette Schmidt is not particularly interested in Ohio State's worldwide activities. She came to attend the School of Optometry, which is the finest in the nation. And the schools of education, veterinary medicine, and pharmacy are ranked among the top 5 in America. Ohio State University is proud of its worldwide activities and proud of its size, not because it makes Ohio State the biggest, but because it makes it one of the best. And now, let's go down to the famous Ohio State Marching Band.
Okay, I got it here.
The spiritual was one of the earliest musical expressions of a growing country. George Gershwin successfully merged American jazz with the European classics in his Rhapsody in Blue. The American music of today is live, vibrant, and exciting. Looking to the past with pride and to the future with optimism. Of your program. Please join us in singing "This Is My Country."
Beautiful music, outstanding maneuvering by both the UCLA and Ohio State band. The score is Ohio State 3 and UCLA nothing as we get ready for the second half kickoff in the 1976 Rose Bowl games.
If I said it of a Bentley, you'd believe it. If I said it of a Lincoln or a Rolls. If I said it of a Jaguar, you'd perceive it. Or even of a Caddy or an Olds. But when I say the name is Aspen and I say the car is small, can a car be so delightful when it's small? It's unbelievable, but Aspen can be driven on the road with the comfort and the room that it pretends. Unbelievable that Aspen really handles in a fashion to arouse the very envy of my friends. Unbelievable.
Uniquely unforgettable, spectacular, incredible.
Unbelievable that a small car could be the envy of my friends.
The new Dodge Aspen. For a small car at a small price. It's unbelievable. See Aspen at your Dodge dealers today.
College basketball returns to NBC with an exciting doubleheader, 6 regional matchups, and then NBC's major game, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Bruins of UCLA, a classic battle between two college powers. College basketball 76, Saturday afternoon on NBC.
Now before the kickoff, let's go down for on-field reports, first by Ross Porter.
Ohio State's outstanding sophomore nose guard, Aaron Brown, suffered a minor injury toward the end of the first half. Brown was poked in the eye by one of the UCLA players. He said he was dizzy for a moment, but he feels fine now, and he will start the second half on defense for the Buckeyes. One of UCLA's best offensive linemen was also hurt late in the second quarter, and Barbara Hunter's got a report on him from the Bruins sideline.
Yes, and the news is worse for the Bruins, Ross, because guard Randy Cross suffered an ankle injury. He left just prior to the second half. The exact injury has not been diagnosed yet. We don't know how severe it's going to be, but he will be out for the game. Kurt?
All right, thank you, Ross and Barbara. And losing Randy Cross is certainly not going to be much of an aid to that UCLA offense. He's one of their best offensive linemen, and they've had trouble getting much yardage today, although their defensive team has really been something out there against the powerful Buckeyes, the nation's leading scoring team, averaging 34 points a game coming into this affair, have been held to just 3 points, the lone field goal. Net yards, Ohio State 174, UCLA 48. Ohio State ran 36 plays to 18 for UCLA. 1 turnover for each team. And there they are up on the board for you. Now, there seems to be a little something missing. Ohio State hasn't made that big play today usually.
You're right, and I think, Kurt, it may well be the precision that comes from playing week after week. Remember, their last game was November 22nd, as was the Bruins of UCLA. So neither team is showing the kind of offensive efficiency. You lose less, is my feeling, on defense. The precision of offense is what suffers in a long delay.
Dick Vermeil worked his team very hard. Some of his players protested. Thought they'd been worked too hard. He said, look, you're going to the Rose Bowl, you're playing the nation's #1 team. It's not a cakewalk. You're going in there, and we're going to work, not just to keep the score close, but to win. Bodaney's kick. This is a squibbler. And Severin Reese picked it up on the 5. Or Thomas picked it up. He comes upfield, gets up over his 20, Buell Thomas, and to his 21-yard line where Spladaney made the tackle. He's not just one of those place kickers who stands around. Doesn't know a linebacker went down to aid him. It's on the 22-yard line of UCLA first down.
Man, they tried early to attack in the first half. UCLA did was number 90, Pat Curto.
John Shira. Here's a counter play. There's a pitch out. He'll get some yardage in this one to Wendell Tyler. That's the first time on the pitch out option. But they got some yardage. Ray Griffin, the safety man, ran him out of bounds.
Let's go tight on Shara here, and let's take a look at what happens when you move out. And what does that linebacker do? The critical position is here. The linebacker has to make the decision, and his was to come to the east inside. You see Curto. 75 is Bonamici. It's a double team, a little roll actually to the outside. The man they beat was Curto wide.
And on the dive tackle to Wendell Tyler again. Straight ahead to his 38. Tyler has just run 13 yards for a first down. This last time he ran into Eddie Beeman and Aaron Brown. So it's a gain of 3 yards and a second down 7.
Tell you, if this Tyler gets past that line of scrimmage, and it's an awfully tough thing to do, you're going to see a pretty exciting runner, number 22.
Tyler was held to just 8 yards in the first half. Man that gained 1,200 yards this season. Second down 7. Ohio State ahead 3-0. Shira pitches it to the far side, wide open over there, as Norm Anderson was split in, and they gave him a lot of room. Bruce Rule was playing 10 yards off of him. That'll be another first down for UCLA.
Earlier, Kurt, we were going to comment that 5 men on the defensive unit of Ohio State will flop. Bruce Rule generally plays to the tight side of the field, but the five that flop are Bonamici, Bob Brodzinski, Ed Thompson, Craig Cassidy, and Tim Fox. They're always on the wide side.
Wally Henry to the left, Anderson to the right. First down UCLA on the Ohio State 49. Here he comes down that line of scrimmage, pitches out to 45, and he was going somewhere until he tripped up Wendell Tyler. Ray Griffin hit him, and now Shira and Tyler teaming up on perfect timing on this pitch out.
You're right, and here's where the veer is so exciting. The guard is pulling. He holds it, and then makes the decision to pitch it. Deftly done.
And the later you can wait, the better. Make that forced man commit himself. Second down, 3 to go. UCLA on the Ohio State 42. Good march here at the opening of the second half. Anthony through Tyler. He's at the 20. He's at the 15, and he goes down. He nearly broke it all the way. Wendell Tyler.
You know, this is a form of a misdirect. You give everything going in one direction, and then you hit your speed man back to that side. Pretty play. The flow was going wide. Get this man to the line of scrimmage, and he's a runner.
There's Tyler going down. He had only 8 yards in the first half. He's picked up 54 yards in the second half, and that was a 30-yard run by Tyler to the Ohio State 12. Shira out to Tyler. Look out. He's blasted down by Ray Griffin, who was playing safety on the close side of the field, and he was ready for that pitch out. He took Tyler down for the loss back to the 16-yard line of Ohio State. A second down and 14.
Here's that play, Kurt, and the safety man makes a great play here. Now Shira must read that safety man playing the run. There's always that possibility of his faking the pitch, dropping back, and hitting the spot where Griffin leads.
Second and 14. 3-0, Ohio State in the lead. Shira over to Wally Henry. Just a quick sideline out. Craig Cassidy had it covered, and he was there. And I almost think Shira just dumped it over his head purposely and out of bounds. Good deferring interception. Third down and 14 for UCLA. They're now in the deepest penetration of the game on third down conversions. Ohio State has converted 3 out of 7. UCLA 1 out of 5. Passing now, Shira is 4 out of 7. Third down and 14. 5 of 8, let's check that. He's got the protection. He overthrows Henry, running a slant. Ed Thompson tipped the ball. Little Henry, the flanker, was running a slant right into the middle of the end zone. And now the field goal man comes on, Brett White, a senior from Huntington Beach, California, who hit only 4 out of 11 field goals this year. He'll be kicking from the far hash marks, away from you. And let's see, they'll spot it on the 23. It'll make a 33-yard field goal attempt. Dankworth will hold, the reserve quarterback. It could tie, but it's good. The kick is up. It is good. They got a tie ball game. Ohio State went down and tied it up with a timeout. It is 3-3.
In this kind of weather, your car could actually ride on a slippery film of water instead of the road. That's hydroplaning. Ordinarily, the area of tire that touches the road is about the size of my hand. But in a rainstorm, your tire can begin to lose contact. And if fully hydroplaning, your tire is not on the road at all. You see, with only a fraction of an inch of water on the road, the tread must give that water a place to go. If it doesn't, water can build up here. Suddenly, the tire rides up on the film of water. You're hydroplaning and have little or no control. The Goodyear Polysteel Radial is built with a computer-designed tread. 8 wide grooves help channel the water through instead of letting it build up. So if you can't always drive on a clear, dry day, drive on the Polysteel Radial, only from Goodyear.
Goodyear tires and Goodyear service for more Goodyears in your car.
It's a Sunday mystery double feature. Ellery Queen, TV's best new whodunit, now on Sundays at 8, 7 Central. Then see McCoy starring Tony Curtis Sunday night.
All right, White will kick off. Willis, Griffin, and Bashnagel are back deep. Willis in the middle for Ohio State. And he sends a boomer. Willis a yard in the end zone, coming out to the 10. Gets out to his 20 and struggles to his 21, and that's all.
In the Michigan game, those Ohio State fans remember that Ohio State looked like they were beaten. And suddenly, when most stunned, Ohio State came back. They are stunned right now. Now we find out if this is the national championship game.
That's right. UCLA took that second half kickoff. Marched 62 yards. They were stopped and kicked the field goal to tie it up. And UCLA finally got a ground game going with Wendell Taylor gaining over 50 yards on that drive himself. First down, Ohio State on his 22. Green to Griffin, bumped into one of his own men. He's spilled at the 25-yard line, and he's hit there by Harold Harden, number 2, the right cornerback.
I'll tell you, you're seeing some interesting maneuvers inside defensively for UCLA. They'll first put Cliff Frazier on the nose. Then they'll put one linebacker next to him. Then the other linebacker will come up, and then Cliff Frazier will drop off. They're really disturbing the blocking of Ohio State.
All right, now they're in a slot right. One of the flankers nearly lined up offside and tripped up again, Archie Griffin. And he was starting to go somewhere as he had that big open space ahead of him. But Terry Tatalo made the stop on him. Spot the ball now on the Ohio State 27. UCLA is giving up ground grudgingly right now. It is 3rd down and 5 for Ohio State.
Again, the linebacker, 83, Dale Carey on this side. Raymond Burks, 87 on the far side.
Archie Griffin has 75 yards rushing in the game. Bashnagel in motion. They haven't gone to him yet on a pass. Green keeps, fumbles it out of bounds when he was hit. He's short of the first down. He was really hit there. And that is Jim Tinnigat, who ran into him. And here's Clodaney coming in now with a 4th and 2. Clodaney's in the punt, and the UCLA fans give their defensive unit an ovation as they go to the sideline.
That was a big defensive stop right there. 3 downs and you have to punt.
Clodaney now has punted twice, a 45-yard average. Dankworth and Reese are back. Reese on the near side. Dankworth farthest away from you. Clodaney kicking high. Fair catch called by Dankworth on his 38-yard line, maybe this 39. It'll be first down, UCLA. Next Saturday, College Basketball 76, as NBC launches its coverage of the top college basketball games in America. You'll see Notre Dame against the defending national champs, the UCLA Bruins. Quite a year here. Today, UCLA in the Rose Bowl. They'll be playing Notre Dame on NBC. We'll talk more about this right now. UCLA's ball on his 39-yard line. In a tie game, 3-all. On a quick down tackle, Eddie Ayers. Ray Griffin stops him. Now, what's UCLA doing differently now to get this ground game going?
Well, Kurt, they're changing their count, but more than that, they are inspired. They're moving off that football. They're attacking the same kind of a defense that they're seeing, and there's a little indecisiveness now on the part of Ohio State. 2nd and short, great spot.
Anderson splits wide right. Wally Henry to the left. 2nd down, 2. UCLA. Not much this time. Maybe a yard. Eddie Ayers. They don't really have that big power back. As we said earlier, they have really 2 halfbacks behind the quarterback. Ken Kuhn made the tackle. And the yardage is enough for a first down, though. Play the officials. as the ball is spotted on the Bruin 49.
Most effective play they've had is that quick hitter with Tyler. Also, they've worked, as we said earlier, on number 90. 90 is playing the short side of the field.
All right, the Bruins are smelling a big upset here. They're tied 3-all, third period. Shira fading. He shoots a pass to number 7, Rick Walker, the tight end. Walker, first down on the 30-yard line. Tim Fox, the safety man, hitting. Perfect pass by Shira.
And is he mixing it up? He's hitting inside. He's going down the line. He's passing on first down. Just a
right
perfect
there.
play.
UCLA now on the Ohio State 30. That was a 21-yard pass. Shira to a tight end, Rick Walker. First down. They run the reverse back to Henry to the 25. The flanker reverse, Wally Henry. And UCLA really has the grab back plays going now.
They're moving it, Kurt, every possible way. Nice fake inside, hold the linebacker. When Wally Henry's in tight, watch for him coming back. They played it awfully tight on the offside. The linebacker on that side, above all else, should have been looking for something coming back.
Well, UCLA had only 2 first downs in the first half. They're racking them now. They have 6 first downs already here in the third period. They're dominating Ohio State in this quarter. Shira on the keeper, the pitch-out, the Tyler. Wendell Tyler, that play now couldn't go in the first half, and it is going big in the second half.
It's also the spot that they're working, though, Kurt. The number 90 is taking it down the line, Pat Curdo. Again, the decision was made there, and the linebacker had to make a decision. He comes in, and the man is wide open to the outside.
Woody Hayes has to be worried. 9:10 to go in the third quarter, but his team is being pushed around in this period. Second down 6 for UCLA on the Ohio State 16. Shira will put it up. There it is. Touchdown! Wally Henry, and UCLA's in the lead.
Or not, that was the finest drive of the football game. That was the kind of diversity that the Beer can present. He used absolutely everybody, Kurt.
I never saw a football team. They did a great job on defense in the first half, but offensively, they have been something to watch here in this third quarter compared to the first half. Flags are dropped. Brett White's going to try the point. Henry really was wide open. He just ran right past the defender. He is only 5'8" from San Diego, a junior. And he can nail that ball when you get it to him. UCLA has not been a throwing team much this year. Legal procedure against Ohio State been declined, so here we go again. This team in the blue, a 15-point underdog, is now in the lead. And he misses it. Off to the left. Here's the replay of the touchdown.
Watch the left side now. No rush at all. Drives him to the outside and just pops him perfectly.
Well, that's it. We'll take a timeout with a score. UCLA 9, Ohio State 3.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable that Aspen can be driven on the road with the comfort and the room that it pretends. Unbelievable that Aspen really handles in a fashion to arouse the very envy of my friends.
Uniquely unforgettable, spectacular, incredible.
Unbelievable that a small car could be the envy of my friends.
See the new Aspen at your Dodge dealers today.
Going out for pizza used to be a real hassle for us.
We like ours thin and crispy.
And we like our pizza thick and chewy.
But ever since we discovered the Pizza Hut restaurant,
Everybody gets what they want.
thin and crispy.
Thick and chewy.
And they make all their pizzas one at a time.
By hand.
So whether you like your pizza like this,
Or like this.
Pizza Hut's something the whole family can agree on.
Right, family?
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Kurt Gowdy and L.D. Regatta's back with you. Stay tuned right after this game for the Orange Bowl from Miami. Oklahoma, Michigan. It's coming to Archie Griffin. They put him in the middle now. He took it on the 3-yard line. He's out to the 15 and he's hauled down at the 16 and 17-yard line. Boy, this is an inspired UCLA team right now. John Lynn went down, in hometown Pasadena boy, to make the tackle. It's on the 17-yard line of Ohio State. First downs in the second half. 8 for UCLA. 6 for UCLA. And Ohio State's at 1. UCLA stopped Ohio State the last time. Green is going to run the ball out of the pocket. He goes down to the 19. He had a man open momentarily. Cliff Frazier hit him, that thick nose guard, helped by Raymond Burks, the outside linebacker.
He's the nose guard that Kurt was talking about, and just for a moment had him. Actually, Archie Griffin was coming through. Cliff showing good mobility for a big man, almost, and does just enough. Nice play by Frazier.
He has outstanding speed. Green. And that one is incomplete. Intended for Lenny Willis. It's put in. Barry Person in there to break it up. Third down and 8.
Interestingly enough, we haven't seen Archie Griffin that much, but he's made some truly outstanding catches. We have seen him twice now come out of the backfield, both times going over the middle. It looked like a break to the outside, and Archie could have been clear.
Third down and 8. Ohio State pinned back at his 19-yard line. Nagel in motion. Green again to pass. Way high. He was trying to hit Lenny Willis, and he was overthrown there. Pat Smith covered the play. Again, Ohio State has to punt. Second time in a row they've failed to move the ball deep in their own territory. And another roar for the UCLA defensive unit. Tom Savani will do the kicking. Wolf and Reese are back for UCLA. 8:17 to play here in the third quarter. 9-3, UCLA. The kick to towering Dankworth, chased back, takes it on his 24. 25, going up the sideline, out of bounds. They're going to call him out on his 35-yard line for Woodrow Roach, an outstanding man on the special teams, and who'll probably be playing first string in the backfield next year. The Senior Bowl game will be seen on NBC Sunday, January 11th at 1:30. Among the players you'll see are All-Americans Craig Penrose, San Diego State, Gene Swift of Toledo, 2 top college passers, Jim Jensen of Iowa, Larry Gaines of Wyoming. January 11th, the Senior Bowl on NBC. First down, UCLA on its 35. Gyra to Tyler. Not much that time. I wonder, Val, if that wasn't a pass play he started the call.
This is number 90, and we wanted to find out how he's playing it. Playing it a little soft there, but here he plays it well. He keeps his position, he moves his man to the outside, enabling his backs to come up, and Curto's there. Nice play.
Second down, 10. UCLA on his 35-yard line. They're leading 9-3. There it is to Henry. And Henry up that sideline belts Craig Cassidy around as he lowered his head and went into him. They're going to spot it out on the 45. It's the first down for UCLA.
And Now again, the speed of a Wendell Tyler, particularly the way this defense is playing. Wendell's quick burst. We might keep our eye on the play of the linebacker, Ken Kuhn, number 54.
They have the two tight ends, Walker and Pedersen. Shira, 8 out of 12. No wonder he's an All-American. The way he's performed here in the second half. Unanimous All-American quarterback. Slips in the handoff. Now he was very sharp on that play. Not sharp and slipping, but he was about to release the ball. Knew he was in trouble when he slipped and he held onto it, or they could have had a bad fumble. They lost 2 yards. They're on their 43-yard line. 2nd and 12 for UCLA. Pedersen goes out. Wally Henry's back in again as a flanker right. Shira is going for the bomb to Anderson. Hill, Misty. He had him down there and open. Norman Anderson, the split end, who's complained this year they don't throw to him enough. Well, they threw to him that time, but couldn't quite connect. Now it's 3rd and 12.
Notice the Ohio State defensive team holding hands now. I guess it's something they've been doing all year, that feeling of togetherness. They need togetherness now, I'll tell you.
James Sarpy, S-A-R-P-Y, number 4, has replaced Norm Anderson to give Anderson a breather after that long run on the fly pattern. 3rd down, 12. A give to Tyler. He's out to the 50, 45, 40, and to the 36-yard line. Wendell Tyler, first down. And how he's running in this 3rd quarter.
He is running and running so well, and what an excellent call right here. Little kind of a delay, lead draw. That's Ayers leading him through. He gets Thompson just enough. Ken Kuhn misses the play. Fox is moving to the outside, pulls away from Fox, and Cassidy stops him.
Wendell Tyler now has 82 yards, 74 of them in this quarter. First down, UCLA on the 37-yard line of Ohio State. Now on first down, he throws. He's got him. Anderson is split in. They're throwing on first down. They're running on 3rd down. They're mixing them up. You can't have a much more diffuse attack than Shira is throwing them right now.
No, and when Wally Henry, if he gets in tight, that is, he ordinarily plays a wide flanker, but if number 8 gets in tight, watch for a Shira to come back with him around.
Right now, UCLA has Ohio State completely off balance. UCLA is ahead 9-3. They have 6 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Shira, keeper, and he stopped at the 21-yard line. First downs are all even now, 11 up, 9 in this half for UCLA, none for Ohio State. Ken Kuhn made that last tackle for the Buckeyes on the 21-yard line of Ohio State. 2nd down, 6 for UCLA.
You know, he's so effectively working this, as you were calling it, Kurt, the variety of different offensive things. Again, the tight end. You kind of lull to sleep, but 85 Don Pedersen has made some very big catches for this team.
9 out of 14 in passing for Shira. Tyler, a quick hitter, Wendell Tyler. He gets off that ball well. He's exploding as he takes the handoff with a pitch out. Playing with a cracked left wrist. Fractured left wrist, and he's shaken up that time. And Carl Zaby comes in. Z-A-B-Y from Pico Rivera, California. He's now on the 17-yard line of Ohio State. 3rd down and 2 to go for UCLA. Wally Henry is flanked to the left. The only wide man out. Shira. There's a bad pitch and a recovery by Ohio State. Down on that ball is number 90, Pat Curto. The end.
Well, they worked that side all day. This is the first time we've seen Shira really make a bad play. He just kind of lost the ball completely. And a great recovery right here.
Number 90 going for it, Pat Curto, the boundary side end. We'll take a timeout while Woody Hayes talks some strategy over. The score, UCLA 9, Ohio State 3.
We're Transamerica, the people in the pyramid, and we're going to give you first-rate service at a fair price. From Occidental Life of California and Budget Rent-A-Car, from Pacific Finance and Transamerica Insurance, from United Artists and Lion Moving and Storage, from every company that's part of Transamerica, we promise first-rate service at a fair price every time.
Hey, when you need to drive, here's a great place to visit. Independent Texaco retailer. Ask him how he can help you get better mileage with regular maintenance and quality Texaco products. He also has the Texaco gasoline that's right for your car, including lead-free Texaco. All contain protective and detergent additives designed to help keep your car performing at its best. At Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
It was 3-0 at halftime. UCLA has scored 9 points in the third quarter. Ohio State has been stopped on the 2 series they've had the ball. They've had to punt each time. Here it is. Green tossing and completing it to Brian Baschnagel, the senior from Pittsburgh, the wingback, and Oscar Roberts puts him there, or Oscar Edwards, but it's a first down, and the first down of this period for Ohio State.
Good play. Play action. Pete Johnson blocking. Archie Griffin diving up the middle. Play action to the outside. We have the feeling that Ohio State's going to have to go back to inside. We haven't seen Archie make a good run behind a Pete Johnson block as yet.
First down for the Buckeyes on their 41. Green looking to field over. Oh, he is slammed down there. Ray Burks and Pete Pele got to him. Burks is 87, Pele's 59. Burks the outside linebacker on the right. And that's a big loss of 11. Second down and 21 for Ohio State.
You're right, and I'll tell you, they're going to be coming again because they'd love to see another big loss. And if Green, and what they're trying to do is to contain Green. Don't let him get to that outside. Let him run to the middle.
UCLA has had a tremendous pass rush in the second and third quarters. We're just under 4 minutes to go in this third period. 9-3, UCLA. The handoff goes to Archie Griffin, and he is hit by Dale Curry, number 83. Ohio State blew him out of there in the first period on the ground, but no more. Let's go down to Ross Porter for a quick injury report.
Ohio State sophomore defensive tackle Eddie Beeman just had the wind knocked out of him. He should be back on the field when the Buckeye defensive unit goes back on. Kurt?
Thank you, Ross, very much. 3rd and 18. Baschnagel was in motion. Look out, here's a blitz on. He throws the ball, it's incomplete. They had a blitz on that time, and it was Oscar Edwards, Mr. Death, the safety man, blitzing. So again, Ohio State has to punt in the third period. Spadani, for the third time in this quarter, is kicking. 3 series in a row, Ohio State has failed to pick up a first down. Dankworth and Severin Reese are deep. The kick's away. Coming to Reese on his 12. And he gets some blocking, and he spills. Down there to cover that is Brian Baschnagel, the all-around athlete. The NBC Tucson Open Golf Tournament will be hosted by Joe Garagiola on Saturday and Sunday, January 10th and 11th. 49 out of the top 60 1975 money winners will be competing. Saturday telecast 5 to 6:30 Eastern Time. The Sunday telecast will be on from 4:30 to 6 o'clock Eastern Time and will follow NBC's coverage of the Senior Bowl. 17-yard line, UCLA, first down. We notice Shiver's been limping. There's a hole open for Wendell Tyler. He's getting a room now, and he's showing what he can do when he has that room. Brodzinski and Ray Griffin teamed up
tendency to make those tackles play rather wide. Now, when the tackles are playing wide, it puts enormous pressure on the nose guard. 55 is Aaron Brown. So let's take a look at Aaron.
Wendell Tyler now has outrushed Archie Griffin, 96 to 78 yards. Tyler just 4 short. And he may have it right there. And all of them but 8 yards in the third period. What a quarter he's had. Playing with a fractured left wrist that he's been playing with the last few weeks. Took the cast off for this one. He now has 101 yards rushing in the game.
You know, we talk so much about Cliff Frazier playing that middle, but right now they're getting to the middle of Ohio State.
There are 2 minutes remaining in the third period. 9-3, UCLA ahead. Counterplay. Eddie Ayers, number 30. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Eddie Beeman. And Ken Kuhn, the linebacker, 54.
Also, carried on that last play, Wally Henry fouled himself in a man-on-man situation against number 23, Craig Cassidy.
They spread Henry to the right. They split out the tight end Pedersen. And to the left, they put Wally Henry. Third and...
On the play preceding that, they had a man-on-man situation. The play was called, it looked like, from the sideline. Henry, who was outstanding, look at this, good blocking. One-on-one, he beats the strong side of the Ohio State line. That's Cassidy falling down. I'm sorry, it was Fox falling down, Cassidy pursuing.
Yes, sir, Wally Henry, 2 touchdowns. Let's take a look from another angle, Al. Here it is, he's cutting now. Once he's got great speed. That cornerback had fallen down. Griffin's trying to get him. Cassidy's trying to get him. No chance. Henry's in there. Here's the point try now by White. It is up, and this one is good. And UCLA is pushing Ohio State around in this third period, something dreadfully.
They're not playing like a 15-point underdog, I'll tell you that.
They're ahead right now by 13 with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go. And fired up UCLA team now has a 16-3 lead. Little Wally Henry has 4 catches for over 100 yards. That pass play went for 67 yards. And let's talk about John Shirell. He's put there when he's had to.
He has, and maybe the plays are coming in from the sideline, Kurt, but he sure has impressed. He has used absolutely everyone. And then Wendell Tyler, his exploding up the middle, and the way they're taking the center of the Ohio State defense that dominated in the first half, and they seem to be taking them apart here in the second half.
UCLA lost to Ohio State 41-20 on October 4th. Now it's getting reversed unless the Bruins come to life, and they have not moved the ball on offense. 3 times they've had the ball, and 3 times they failed to pick up a first down and had to punt. And that is not Ohio State, the leading scoring team in the nation. Got to be UCLA's defense. Playing with almost superhuman effort. Here's the kick. It is coming to Willis and bounds out of bounds, and he'll have to kick it over.
Well, one thing we know, Kurt, Dick Vermeil worked his people, and it's paying off. Hard work always pays off.
Well, I can't imagine Woody not working his people or never going into a game without working.
I agree. The comment I'm making, Kurt, that was all over America, the fact that some of the UCLA players were complaining about the amount of work, and Vermeil, there he is.
They'll find out young what hard work does, huh?
Always makes you look. But he's not about to relax.
Ohio State was behind Michigan in the 4th period and pulled it out. And they're going to have to put on that same kind of a rally here in the 62nd Rose Bowl game today.
Never underestimate Woody, and I know not many people do.
Archie Griffin now standing on the 5-yard line waiting for this kickoff, and it's coming to him on the 8. He's up to the 20, 25, he's up to the 30, and he's out of bounds. Out of bounds on his 35-yard line, taken out by Steve Tetrick. First down, Ohio State. On their 35-yard line.
I'm surprised that Ohio State went away from their game plan so early. They started putting that football up in the air, and they haven't been able to get it together.
We have 1 minute and 4 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Bashnagel in motion. Green's going back to throw again. Flares it out to Archie Griffin. The 40, the 45, first down, Ohio State. He's tackled by Cliff Frazier, that nose guard running it back down from behind again. That big man can move. 76, Frazier.
Now 76 ought to look for something coming right at him. Once they get you moving that way, and you're right, he moves extremely well for a big man, but occasionally you move too quickly and they pop it right by you.
This is Ohio State's first down of the third period. They're trailing 16-3. Green lobs it, and there's a fumble, incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Pete Johnson never had control of the ball through the axe common to football. So it's an incomplete pass. Raymond Bell hit him there when Johnson circled out, did that little C pattern coming out of the backfield from his fullback spot. Second down, 10.
This might set an all-time record for the number of times Ohio State throws.
I was just about to say that. People who complain about Ohio State not passing, they've gone wild with a pass here in the third quarter. Green's back again. Now. He lets it go, and he's got a man open along the sideline. And it is going to be out on the 40, and that's Pete Johnson, the fullback, number 33, who caught it.
Only his second reception of the year. And that, I think, was his 4th or 5th time. He had one big touchdown, however. He steps out of bounds here now.
Comes down with 1 foot inbounds in the college rule. All right, there he's out of bounds on the second step down. So Ohio State passing the ball down the field. 22 seconds to go. They have a first down on the UCLA 41-yard. And we have a timeout charge to UCLA. UCLA will have 2 timeouts left. What a third quarter. UCLA came out behind 3-0. They took the ball, the kickoff from their own 22, marched to the Ohio State 16, kicked a 33-yard field goal to tie it. Next time they got the ball, again, they marched right down the field, a 16-yard pass from Shiver to Henry. Later in the quarter, Shiver hit Henry with a 67-yarder, and that's it. Sunday, February 15th, NBC Sports premieres WCT Challenge Cup live from Hawaii. A dynamic new concept in a world of professional tennis featuring 8 of the world's greatest competitors in a series of matches. NBC Sports, #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round.
The play that's impressed me is the play of both of and also Burks on the far side. And also, in a passing situation, often 21, Oscar Edwards comes to the line of scrimmage.
First down, Ohio State. Archie Griffin. Riding him was Dale Curry, number 83, the left linebacker. Griffin was looking outside tackle, saw the hole closed, quickly changed, as you saw, and veered to the inside. It is now on the 33-yard line of UCLA. We're running down to the end of the quarter, and there it is, the end of the third quarter of the 62nd Rose Bowl game. And the score, UCLA 16, Ohio State 3.
Xerox has a copier that can make regular size 8.5 by 11-inch copies. It can also make medium size 11 by 14-inch copies. It's portable, has a document feeder. But the best part of all is that it makes giant size 14 by 18-inch copies.
the Xerox 3100 large document copier.
Meet the pickup that's 3 up on every other pickup made in America. Dodge. Dodge is priced lower than Ford or Chevy. That's 1 up. Dodge got better gas mileage than Ford or Chevy. 25 on the highway, 18 in the city. That's 2 up. And Dodge has a bigger standard payload than Ford or Chevy. Now that's 3 up. Price, mileage, payload. What more can I tell you? Dodge is 3 up on every other pickup made in America.
Now, we've had some calls about the pronunciation of Shira. We asked him yesterday, and he said it's Shira. Shira, some call him. We're going along the way he wants it. Shira. His name. Johnson. He was running there on 2nd and 2. As we open the 4th quarter, Kurt Gowdy, L.D. Rogatis, hope you're enjoying this Rose Bowl game sent your way by NBC. Barney Person on that last tackle.
The man we know that has blinding speed for this Ohio State team, and they're inside to run this football, is Lenny Willis, and we should see him a little later.
Out of the robust tee, there's a first down. On the blast play, Storr was leading the way in blocking. Johnson picks up the first down. Raymond Bell, the inside linebacker, on the tackle. On the 27-yard line now of UCLA, Ohio State has been held not only scoreless, but completely outplayed in the second half. Lenny Willis goes back in a split end, replacing Greg Storr. First downs, Ohio State 15, UCLA 12. UCLA had only 2 first downs in the first half. Green keeping the ball. Now he'll go into his act. He throws at the 20-yard line. He has a receiver. That's Brian Bass.
His primary receiver was Lenny Willis. Harold Harden, number 2, had him covered perfectly. And this is a ground-level shot showing you the mobility of this man. What makes Bashnagel so good is he's always giving his quarterback a passing plan.
6 out of 11 for Corny Green. First down, Ohio State on the UCLA 16. They just opened the 4th period. And ripping to the 10-yard line, Archie Griffin, and he now is over 100 yards. Archie Griffin went from the 16 to the 10, a gain of 6. He now has 101 yards. Wendell Taylor has 101 yards.
Ray Burks, number 87. He has the wide side of the field to this side, number 87.
Second down 4, double tight end offense. Pete Johnson was the man that he faked to going up the middle, and Green kept the ball. I'll tell you, Johnson did his act that time. The good faker gets hit by the defense. He just goes in there like he hasn't got the ball. Nobody pays any attention to him. Green gained a yard. 3rd down and 3. Ohio State on the UCLA 9-yard line. Driving to the 7, maybe the 6. Johnson taking the handoff from Corny Green. Pete Pele down at the bottom of that pile. The officials are calling time. Timeout, says referee Calhoun on us. We're going to bring the yardsticks on. That's Green. They look to be a little bit short, Al. I don't know. Let's see here. They're about 6-8 inches short. UCLA gets its goal line defense in there now.
Here's where Chris Ward and Ted Smith and Rick Applegate and Bill Lukens and Scott Dinelli, this is where they earn their keep because they've got to get the job done down here.
4th down and a foot to go. This drive started on the Ohio State 24-yard line in the closing minutes of the 3rd period. They start cranking that clock up now, a little over 12 minutes to play. 4th down and a foot. Johnson has the 1st down. Pete Johnson gets it. 1st and goal to go for Ohio State. Dale Curry finally stopped him. And you want raw power, you send 248-pound junior fullback Johnson in there. What a run of fullbacks Hayes has had. Brockington, Otis, down the line. 1st and 3 to go now for Ohio State touchdown. Johnson is in for the score. Touchdown number 26 this year for Pete Johnson. A 76-yard drive by Ohio State.
In line of a number of great offensive tackles. They drive right at Chris Ward. He's only a sophomore. He's 6'4" and 270. Led in there by number 45. Here's ground level.
They think, Al, that Chris Ward is going to be one of their all-time greats, like John Hicks. Dayton, Ohio. And when you run it behind a sophomore, you have to have a lot of confidence in him. The kick is up, and it is good by Clavin. Very important point. UCLA missed an extra point. Look at Woody now. And, well, he gets his club around him. Let's take a timeout with a score. UCLA 16, Ohio State 10.
Eyes that I have never seen before. Have they really made a wagon with the ride of a sedan and the quiet and the comfort I adore?
Uniquely unforgettable, spectacular, incredible.
Unbelievable. So many things a smaller wagons never had before.
See the new Aspen wagon at your Dodge dealers today.
Hydroplaning is the phenomenon that can lift even a full-sized car off the road during a rainstorm. How? A wedge of water can build up here, and your tires can begin to ride up on the water instead of the road. But this is the Goodyear Polysteel Radial. It's built to help avoid hydroplaning. These 8 wide grooves channel the water through instead of letting it build up. The Polysteel Radial, only from Goodyear.
Goodyear tires and Goodyear service for more Goodyears in your car.
New World Hard Choices American Foreign Policy 1976. Join John Chance for one of the most important specials television has ever brought you. Monday at 8, 7 Central Time.
Dick Vermeil very calm, watching his team receive the kickoff. And it's picked up by Wally Henry, who's already scored 2 touchdowns on pass receptions in the game. He gets it back to the 25-yard line. Skladany went down to make the tackle. And Midland also.
Earlier we had mentioned that it was the defense of UCLA that had to do the job, and they did it. And now it becomes the defense of Ohio State, particularly in the middle. They've been soft in the middle.
UCLA tied it on a field goal in the 3rd period, then scored a touchdown and missed an extra point. And may come back to haunt them. 16-10, UCLA. They had a 16-3 lead. Gyra. They run that play to Carl Davey, who's in there for Wendell Tyler. Tyler was injured earlier, came back into the game and may be hurting again. Eddie Beeman, the left tackle, made the stop for Ohio State. A yard gain for the Bruins. They have 2nd down, 9.
Bruce Rule, we've been saying, number 43, he plays the short side of the football field. If they try to run on him, Bruce has to come up and make the big play to the outside.
Wendell Tyler's back in now, number 22. Gyra throws, the pass is complete to the split end Norm Anderson. And he's out of bounds for a 1st down at the 39 of UCLA. He caught it right in front of Bruce Rule.
That was a quick replay from another angle. Now, with a guy like Anderson in front of you, Bruce Rule has that tough time. If he's coming at you, I've got to play pass. If they run, I've got to force the run.
Gyra's hit 11 out of 16 passing today. 2 touchdowns. He keeps the ball, and he is whacked along the line of scrimmage by Rule, the boundary side halfback, who came up fast to diagnose it.
Oh, they're playing that very well now. Earlier they had been beating Curto and Rule. Now Curto's playing it well, holding the blocker, and Rule is closing very effectively.
Second down 10. Clock moving, 10:40 to go in the game. UCLA's ahead of heavily favored Ohio State, 16-10. That's the Ohio State band and cheering section. And they're anxious. Deep trouble. Slot right formation. Gyros toss, and it is complete at the 49-yard line to Wally Henry, who has just caught his 5th pass of the afternoon.
Here's Henry all the way, a man in the slot. Henry wide, driving both deep men deeper, and they play off, and they've been playing off this man. They've got great respect for him about this point.
He's caught 5 passes for 113 yards. UCLA another first down.
Now, when Shira has you going like this, Kurt, he also becomes very dangerous as the runner, faking that pitch out and cutting to the inside.
First downs now, Ohio State 17, UCLA 14. Dankworth, the reserve quarterback. John Shira, and a true All-American today, leading this UCLA team. Back he goes again. Great protection. He's throwing deep. It is intercepted by Ohio State. Coming up with the ball and out of bounds is Craig Cassidy. The senior Cassidy picked it off. Flag goes down. A flag dropped in front of the Ohio State bench.
And this would be number 9. Mike Sensabaugh had 9 for Ohio State, and now Greg Cassidy does. Here's the replay. Beautiful position.
And they're having a discussion down here, the officials, Woody Hayes. And it is going to be personal foul against UCLA. A late hit. Late hit on Craig Cassidy. He's hurt. They're attending him down there on the sideline. And now Ohio State has the ball on the UCLA 35 with a first down.
Now they'll do the thing they do best. If they keep it inside, they have to beat Frazier. If they go outside, they have to beat 83, Dale Curry.
Craig Cassidy picked it off. We told you he'd played in the shadows. Neil Colsey finally got his chance his senior year, and he's improved every game and been an outstanding back. They're still working on Craig Cassidy. His father, the first great running back that Woody Hayes coached. The second one, Archie Griffin, the 2 best he ever coached, he said. Barney Green's throw is intercepted by UCLA. Coming up is Barry Person. And Person stepped right in front and caught that ball.
Kurt, I'm so surprised. I'm really surprised. Woody Hayes had it all going for him. They had the momentum back. They had the ball in great field position, and he went away from the strength. Barney Person is their leading interceptor. That's back-to-back.
All right, UCLA now has the ball. Timeout. 4th period, UCLA 16, Ohio State 10.
You're going to see something you have never been able to see before. We're about to photograph this house with an infrared camera that will show you where heat is being lost. Watch. The red areas are warm. That's where heat is escaping, and natural gas is being wasted. Here are ways to avoid wasting gas. So vital to America's future. Use storm windows and weather stripping. And insulate your attic adequately. It could reduce your gas consumption as much as 20%. Now that we've weatherproofed, we'll take another infrared photograph. See? We've reduced heat loss and saved natural gas. You can see the difference. Of course, all homes aren't alike, so savings will vary. But all gas savings are important. America's industry depends on natural gas for half its energy. Millions of jobs depend on gas. The gas you save can help the economy and help keep people working.
Here's a replay. Okay, we saw Cassidy, the leading interceptor for Ohio State, and now you see the leading interceptor getting his 5th, playing it perfectly. Barney Person, number 29.
First down, UCLA on their 43-yard line after that 29-yard run back of the interception. Wendell Tyler hitting that quick one again. Eddie Beeman and Pat Curto stopped him, but not until he'd gone to the 48-yard line. Not many minutes from now, we'll be switching to the Orange Bowl, where number 2 ranked Oklahoma will be playing number 4 ranked Michigan, and the outcome of this game, if it continues the way it is, UCLA leading, Oklahoma may have a shot at the national title in the Orange Bowl.
Here's a spot where you have to worry about Wally Henry again.
Second down 5. Dive tackle to Eddie Ayers. No score. Let's go down to Ross Porter for an injury report.
Craig Cassidy suffered a bruised shoulder after the interception. He went back on the field for one play when UCLA got the ball back. But now we've noticed he's just come off again and been replaced. We'll watch him closely. Back to you.
Leonard Mills replaced him. All right, Shira will try and uncork something here. 3rd and 5. 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go. UCLA a 15-point underdogs in the lead, 16-10. Eddie Ayers breaks that one. A big play for UCLA. Eddie Ayers. Bob Brzezinski had to tackle him in the secondary.
You know, we were talking earlier about the fact that UCLA does not have the true fullback type. But when you don't have the fullback type, you have one advantage, and that advantage is blinding speed to the line of scrimmage. Tyler, Ayers both have it.
8 minutes and 20 seconds to play. UCLA on the Ohio State 42. As they gather these first downs, they're also using up time. A yard gain by the quarterback, John Shira, to the 41, where Eddie Beeman made the hit on him. Second down, 9 for UCLA. Ohio State's Craig Cassidy just intercepted a pass. Ohio State had the ball in UCLA territory, the UCLA 35. First down and then threw it away. And UCLA has come back from the 43 to the Ohio State 41. Second down. A quick pass, complete. Severin Reese. Severin Reese, the flanker back. They're all catching them out there.
Here's the replay. Just a quick look. You notice he looks away from his primary receiver, then fires to that side. First Wally Henry playing that slot, and now Severin Reese.
Well, so far we're seeing shades of John Ralston's days at Stanford when he upset Ohio State and Michigan successive years as underdogs. This was not over yet. First down, UCLA on the Ohio State 32. Trying to run the dive tackle by Eddie Ayers. That's not successful. Ed Thompson plugged it up. Yard gain, second down, 9. Now the time is 7 minutes and 20 seconds to play in this 60-second Rose Bowl game, and UCLA is on top, 16-10.
You have to love the kind of second and third and fourth quarter that Shire is playing. He's been using other than Tyler. Here's the spot where the speed of Tyler can be very helpful.
Second down, 9. Kenny Lee, number 31, is now in. The handoff is to Wendell Tyler. Tyler jammed up at the 28-yard line of Ohio State by Pat Curto and Eddie Beeman. 3rd and 6. Ohio State anxious to get their hands on the ball again. Wendell Tyler. Coming up next, Michigan against Oklahoma. Michigan lost only one game this year, tied twice. Michigan lost to Ohio State. Oklahoma loses to Kansas, the only loss they had, ranked number 2 coming in. Alabama won last night. They lost only one game this year. Flags are down. There goes Shira breaking away. The flags are down on the play. Flags down. That's offside UCLA. The touchdown will be called back.
Okay, let's see if we can pick it up. There it goes. You saw it. It was actually the left side of the line. Now, when they play these film over again, somebody's going to get an awful lot of discussion for that move. You're not in the play, and you jump offside.
That was Coppin 70 and McKinley 73 on that left side. Left tackle and left guard. But now they mark it back to the 33-yard line of Ohio State. They call it a legal procedure. They were in motion. Those linemen moving before the snap. And that was a lucky break for Ohio State. Because now it's third down and 11. UCLA on the Ohio State 33. 6:13 to play. They get to him and drop him. Ed Thompson, a blitzing linebacker, got to him, number 9. They sent him and sent him hard. Here he comes.
Well, when you know they're going to pass, you can do that. This Ed Thompson is an ex-quarterback. And as an ex-quarterback, a fine athlete, because it seems like these quarterbacks just seem to have it, and he does.
Fourth down and 21. John Sullivan will be doing the punting. Tim Fox will be the safety man. 5:35 to go. Ohio State is trailing by 6 points. And that one bounding around and is dead on the 28-yard line of Ohio State. Not much of a kick, about 15 yards is all. So we'll have a timeout. The score, UCLA 16, Ohio State 10.
Now coming in, Grain, Red Grain.
Green! Another Red Grain. Hey, Grain! I ain't never played football with no legend.
When you've got a well-known name, people expect a lot. We've got a beer named after the city that means beer, Old Milwaukee. It's a tough name to live up to, but Old Milwaukee beer tastes as great as its name.
Grange, huh? Next they'll send in a kid named Dale Sayers.
Attention, please. Now coming in.
Announcing the new Delco Freedom Battery. So revolutionary, it's designed to take care of itself for as long as you're likely to own your car. You never add water. It needs virtually no service. That's why we named it Freedom. Its instant burst of starting power is available again and again. The new Delco Freedom Battery, an advanced new technology for starting today's cars, is designed to last as long as you're likely to own your car.
First down, Ohio State under 29. That was a 13-yard punt. Here's Green with the 30, 35, and has a first down. Frazier had to drag him down from behind. Cornelius Green from Washington, D.C. Ohio State now on their own 40-yard line. They're trailing 16-10. 5 minutes and 12 seconds to play. This is their drive. They've got to make it go for Meal. Fingers crossed. The blast play by Archie Griffin. Frazier. Been a mammoth figure on defense today. Aided by Raymond Bell that time for UCLA. On the 41-yard line of Ohio State. Second down, 9.
Well, you know, in this offense, you get the feeling that Brian Boschnagel, with all of that talent, is not used that effectively. He's an excellent pass receiver.
In motion is Boschnagel, long signal count. Green has the protection. Way over the head, right into the hands of Pat Smith. Smith being chased by Willis and pulled down. Green over to his receiver, Lenny Willis, and right into the hands of Pat Smith. Now the Bruins smell it now.
Another big interception. Here's a replay. 2 men with a good pass. It could have been completed. Boschnagel coming in from the offside. It's just high. This is Pat Schmidt, 88.
Willis on the tackle, and again UCLA has the ball with a chance now to use up more of the clock. 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Ohio State had a golden opportunity earlier in this quarter when they intercepted a pass got a personal foul call against UCLA and had a first down on the UCLA 35. There's that quick hitter, Eddie Ayers again. The plays they couldn't break in the first half, they're booming them now. Kenny Kuhn for the tackle. Timeout. Ayers appears to be shaken up.
Yesterday when we had that discussion with the officials, the thing that impressed Kurt Gowdy and myself so much was the number of things that the collegiate rules do to protect the athlete. The fact that you cannot cut down the crackback block. On punch, you cannot go after the knees. They do everything they possibly can to protect the athlete, and we sure root for them.
Kenny Lee's in now, replacing Ayers. Second down, 2. Off to Tyler, 45, 40. Tyler's outside. He's at the 20. He's cutting back. He's in there! Wendell Tyler.
Well, you get this man past the line of scrimmage, and he is something else. Post pass, Ray Griffin, who was playing it very tight, just outruns Bruce Rule completely. Here's where he makes that cutback to the inside. Number 22, a runner.
What a day he's had. Here it is again. Watch the other view. Now he bursts. Now watch his speed accelerate outside. He nearly goes out of bounds, but those clever feet keep him inbound. Here's his cutback, and he winds up with 164 yards rushing for the afternoon. 164 yards for Wendell Tyler. He broke the all-time seasonal rushing record for UCLA and missed 2 games. The kick is up. It's good. And this is, unless Ohio State puts on a miracle rally, this will be one of the great upsets of all time in Rose Bowl history. Timeout with the score, UCLA 23, Ohio State 10.
You know, a state trooper car is really a lot like your car. Watch this. Take away the markings, open the hood, and there's an engine that needs protection. That's why we tested Texaco's Haviland Super Premium Motor Oil in more than 40 trooper cars for over 2 million grueling miles. Of the engines inspected, none showed any sign of unusual wear. So, no matter what kind of car you drive, protect it like a trooper with Texaco's Haviland Super Premium Motor Oil.
I wouldn't trade my tradesmen for all the wood and wood stock.
I wouldn't trade my tradesmen for all the bread in Bakersfield.
The Dodge Tradesman van carries more than any other van, and it's surprisingly economical to own. That's why Dodge Tradesman van owners won't trade their tradesmen for anything, except another tradesman.
I wouldn't trade my tradesmen for all the lobster in Newburgh.
Ready to kick off now again for UCLA. Will be Brett White, Baschnagel, Griffin are back deep, and Willis. As UCLA had just been launched farther with that 54-yard run by Wendell Tyler. Archie Griffin trying to get it out. Oh, that's Brian Baschnagel. He's hit. Baschnagel down. Let's quickly go down to Barbara Hunter for a sideline report.
Kurt, Eddie Ayers is on the UCLA bench. He's apparently in some pain with his left arm and left elbow area. However, he got up very quickly when UCLA made the touchdown. Kurt?
Thank you, Barbara.
And here again is that time of the football game when the interceptions, as Woody Hayes, the old general, I think has the feeling he's lost. But this is where the interception becomes so prominent, and this is also when the linebackers put the big rush on the passer.
First down. Green trying to get it out of there. He'll go over the sidelines if he can. And he stays. He's got the first down. The clock stops anyway. Levi Armstrong, the left cornerback, hit him. There's your time and score. And the Orange Bowl, of course, was a super attraction anyway, and it may be even more super. Oklahoma and Michigan. Each team defeated once this year. Oklahoma, the number 2 ranked team in the country. Realizing here that Ohio State is losing. Unless Green can pull some miracle. And it is incomplete. So that stops the clock. 3 minutes and 2 seconds to play. It's intended for the tight end, Larry Kane. The second down. 10 to go. Ohio State lost last year by 1 point when USC scored. Pat Hayden to J.K. McKay and went for the 2-point conversion. The pass was good, and it was Southern Cal 18, Ohio State 17. The year before, Ohio State rolled by Southern Cal. Southern Cal had a big victory over Ohio State in 73. And Ohio State was upset by Stanford before that. Green's pass is complete. And that's to Larry Kane, the tight end. They'll stop the clock. Larry Kane, number 85. Terry Tatalo hit him there in the secondary.
Now in that secondary for UCLA, Levi Armstrong is playing on the left side. Parsons ordinarily plays that side, but they have him now on the right side, replacing number 2, Harold Hart.
Ohio State out on a slot left. Green getting a rush. 87, Raymond Burke got to him.
The big rush from the linebackers. Raymond Burks forced Green out of the pocket earlier, and this time you see he's coming on this side. 83, Dale Carey from the far side. Pele, 59, closing in to help out.
Ohio State has called a timeout. That gives them 2. It was 3-0 at halftime in favor of Ohio State. UCLA played a gallant defensive game to hold the high-scoring Buckeyes, the top-scoring team in the nation, to just 3 points, but it did not even show a glimmer of an offense. But it's been a different story here in this second half.
Dick Vermeil said after the last game, if there's a better team in America than the Ohio State Buckeyes, they have to be in the National Football League. Well, this man has really taken that team, Vermeil, and turned it around to be able to do this. I don't recall, you don't often get that second chance, but they got a second chance. They're making the best of it.
Well, we want to remind everybody we'll be in Pittsburgh Sunday. Pittsburgh Steelers, the defending Super Bowl champs, will be playing the Oakland Raiders, a rematch of last year's American Football Conference Championship game. And we'll have before, during, and following the game, grandstand hosted by Jack Buck at Bryant Gumbel. That'll be this Sunday. Green's long toss is broken up at the 25-yard line, intended for Archie Griffin. And the clock stops with 2:29 to play. Levi Armstrong broke it up, and they put another hard rush on Cornelius Green. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Kurt Gowdy and L.D. Regatta's back with you. Al, I remember another bowl game during the regular season. LSU beat Mississippi. Billy Cannon's memorable punt return for a touchdown, 7-0. But in a rematch in the Sugar Bowl, Mississippi dumped the favorite LSU team. Green is trying to set something up here. His pass is nowhere near Archie Griffin, or Pete Johnson was down the field. Just nobody open. There's that nose guard, Frazier.
Well, they talk about Bear Bryant having such a tough time in bowl games. Actually, the only place that Woody Hayes does not have a winning record, appears to be right here in the Rose Bowl. Favored the last 3 out of 4 times he's been here, and he has suffered major losses.
Right now, 10 to go. That young man's ahead by 13 points. And Woody Hayes looking up at the clock desperately. And Green throws the ball. It's incomplete. UCLA will take over. Cliff Frazier got to Cornelius Green. The pass intended for Bashnagel. Look at those men around him. There's Frazier, 76. Number 59 was Pete Pele. And number 87 was Raymond Burke. They have had some kind of a pass rush today.
Boy, they sure had. Early in the football game, when Ohio State had to settle for the field goal, when the defense of UCLA suddenly tightened up, you had the feeling it was going to be that kind of a tough afternoon. Here's the big rush.
Al, they just can't seem to stop Frazier today. Just going wide open in there.
Well, he's so big and so strong.
First down, UCLA on the Ohio State 46. Tyler, simple handoff. Pat Curto stops him. It's the clock now that UCLA is interested in. There it is. There's your score. An historic upset in the making here in the Rose Bowl. UCLA came in as one of the biggest underdogs in years. They were beaten by this Ohio State team on October 4th, 41-20, by 21 points. They were underdogs by anywhere 14 to 16 points, and right now they're leading by 13. And they have completely outplayed Ohio State in the second half. They've had one touchdown called back. Wendell Tyler again. What a Rose Bowl he's had.
And Chira appears to be setting up that fake to the dive man and that keeper. You saw him go to the right. The other thing about this man, as you look at what probably is for the national championship, that Oklahoma-Michigan game in the Orange Bowl, but the thing that I've liked so much about the attack is their ability to go right or left.
172 yards for Wendell Tyler. A touchdown run included in there of 54. They go to the 36-yard line. Eddie Ayers is back in. We want to thank Dr. Robert Woods, the team physician of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who's always our stat man out here, and Joe Costanza for their great help today. Rex Kern, the former All-American of Ohio State, working Ohio State for us, and Denny Minishi and UCLA. Thank you all, gentlemen, and a Happy New Year to you. Woody Hayes. Last year was a bitter defeat for him. He thought his team did not play well. This will have to be one of his bitterest defeats because the national title has eluded him for the previous 3 years. They thought they could get it today. And now it's going to elude him again. Eddie Ayers, 11 wins in a row. The highest scoring team in America coming into this game. Only one tough game, that was against Michigan. Vermeil and his coaching staff. What a job they've done. He'll never have a greater victory probably throughout his career than this one, no matter how many more years he's a head coach. And now Ohio State has called time to stop the clock, and they have one timeout left.
And the thing he said, Kurt, that impressed us so tremendously was when he heard Woody Hayes speaking. He was so inspired by Woody, he said, "I'm about ready to go in and play myself." Well, he sure did a beautiful job on his people. Emotions will always be a part of football. And how about Woody's little talk on enthusiasm, Kurt?
Well, the sad line of Buckeyes. 22 seconds to go. One of the probably the greatest victory in the history of UCLA football. The greatest. Lord knows they've had enough of basketball, but this is their biggest football one. And John Shira has been named the most valuable player of this Rose Bowl game. Rightfully so. Wendell Tyler could have been in there. Cliff Frazier, a lot of them. But he guided them. The quarterback, 13 out of 19 he hit in passing. He threw for 2 touchdowns. He led a There it is. Down to 2. Woody Hayes, undefeated. Glory dreams of a national title. Blown up on him today by an inspired UCLA team, a 15-point underdog who won going away with a final score of 23-10. One of the historic upsets of all time of the 62 years of Rose Bowl games. Al DeRogatis, Happy New Year to you before
Thank
we switch
you,
to
Kurt.
Miami.
Happy New Year to you. It's always a special treat to be here at the Rose Bowl.
And now Kurt Gowdy sending you to the Orange Bowl at Miami and Oklahoma against Michigan. As these over 100,000 fans file out of here, once again, John Shira, the most valuable player, threw for 2 touchdowns. Wendell Tyler ran for 170-some yards, 172. And now let's make our switch to Miami, Florida, to the Orange Bowl.